Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation to Guns of Navarone, RMP, Troy Shuker, Bo Snail, Justin Duso, Joseph Pizarro, Samson, Maris, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Neo the One, Lost Cat FE, Rob W, Open Minded, Reese Pound, Dal West Watson, Mike, Muted, Dick Earth Skeptic, NA Literalist, Maria Neelands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Rob H, Nathan Thompson, The Real Gabster, Windrider, Liam Nedrick, Owen Jennisons, Abraham Mohammed, Dave Rakia Gafford, Naibai, Adrian Quintana, Skeptic936, Life is Short, Fireball X, Texas Mike, Edwin Johnson, Kirsten Smith, Alexander Main, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I'm going to leave you with the dulcet tones of whoever is in the Discord and Google panels, so you can enjoy their conversation while I set up for today's live show.
Yeah.
It's like drives me crazy. I had a 75-foot piece of vinyl, and instead of cutting it, just subtracting what I needed, I tried to, because I don't have enough room to lay out the whole thing and measure 57 feet. So I basically had to measure 20, and then 17.5, but somehow I made a mistake, and it wound up being a 55-footer.
Oh gosh.
But I just rolled it up, put it on the side. I took a brand new 75-footer and I subtracted it, so I'm good.
Well, that'll go for another room that's 55.
Crazy, because I hate doing it that way. I like being able to open up everything and work freely. But anyway, it's a lot of construction, so I'm going on mute.
All right, buddy.
Morning, Tech Man.
Good morning. Is this Red Man?
No, don't fit in.
Who's it?
You hear that speech Trump made?
Yeah. Very few people heard it. The news service doesn't want to broadcast it.
They will. Eventually they will. But by then they won't be happy.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff. Anyone on Discord?
I'm getting out of this area. I'm going upstairs. It's a little more quieter.
Yeah, I'm here, 10th Man.
Yeah, I can't. Who is this? Your voice is coming in a little crackly.
That's Red Man.
I thought it was Red Man.
No, it's don't fit in. I'm on Discord.
Don't fit in?
Yeah, don't fit in.
Oh, nice. Good name there. Don't fit in. Describe my life.
I'm on here, 10th man. I was waiting for Nathan to let me into the meet.
Sorry, I've got
okay.
to actually authorize you to come into the meet, which is no bad thing because it means trolls can't just get in randomly. But unfortunately,
You mean Google?
Into Google. But yeah, unless I'm actually
The
sat in
hanging
front of...
meat.
Go on, sorry. Unless I'm sat in front of that... Just bear with me a second, Neil. Just in front... If I'm not sat in front of that screen, Paul, then I can't let you... You can't get in. So I am now.
Oh, it said there was waiting for you to let me in, so I didn't need to retry to do it again so you can hear me pop
Yes,
in.
yes, please.
Okay, hang on a second.
Sorry, Neil.
What's that?
I just said sorry because
No,
I was
Neil.
cutting you off to talk to Paul and explain why he wasn't getting in automatically.
Yeah, Neil's on the job site moving different floors, so he's fine.
Yeah, I heard from the other room he cut a 77-foot panel down to 55 or something.
Yeah, big mess up, but I turned it into a minor mess up.
Speaking of
Yeah,
panels,
that happens.
2
go
pieces
on.
of acoustic treatment arrived today. At least I hope that's what it is, as it's got their name on the box, and I haven't actually opened it yet. But almost as soon as I got a contribution to the GoFundMe campaign, my original intention was to pay off some PayPal debt I'd accumulated just to get some good deals. So I spent a bit more than I would have done normally, hence using credit. And the GoFundMe was intended to pay that off. But almost straight away, I was like, I've got to buy something so I can at least show something on a video, right? Because then at least when people have contributed to the GoFundMe, I can thank them and say, well, here's something that I've actually purchased with it. That said, I've ended up buying other things as well, so I've actually put nothing towards the debt I accumulated.
We're all little kids, aren't we?
Yeah, that's it. I want the item that I'm going to buy anyway, right? So,
Yeah, let's just justify it.
well, yeah. I mean, it's one of them. The PayPal credit can wait till February. So in the meantime, I'll buy more stuff. But that's what the campaign's for, right? To actually treat the studio, not to pay off treatment that I've already done. I mean, it's the same thing, really, but I'd much rather make a video about something new.
I love it. I love it.
I'm terrible.
You're just a kid at heart, that's all.
Paul has
Nathan, I've done it a couple.
Sure.
Nathan, I've done it a couple times. You've not seen me try to pop in.
doesn't seem to
Done it several
doesn't show me
times.
anybody waiting to get in.
You know, I had to reboot my iPad. It was just constantly swirling that little circle. So you may want to reboot for some reason.
It's because I wasn't sat there when it said
Well, I just
allow.
closed the browser.
But I don't see anybody on a list. There's no list that I can find of people waiting to join. So
Yeah, well, if it reboots, it should work. At least it did for me. It just acted different. I don't know why. Technology. I gotta get my glasses on, and so science could be true, I guess.
it's my fault. I should just, instead of starting the show and then immediately going and making a cup of coffee, I'm going to have to sit and babysit the Google Hangout, because if I don't, people won't get in. So I'll know for next time. I was running behind time. I'm just, having cut my finger, everything seems to take twice as long because you got to pick up something and then it hurts and then you stop and then it takes you a little bit longer. So I'm just running late today.
Have you changed bandages yet?
I took it off completely. It's been 2 days.
Oh, good.
You remember I said, I thought I hurt my nose. I just couldn't tell. Well, now there's a great big scab on it. So I definitely whacked my nose. I don't know how, but yeah, I knew it hurt. And I woke up this morning. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, you said you fainted, so maybe as you were fainting, you hit it.
Yeah, I think so. I must have smacked it on something.
Yeah, I remember one time there was a horrific car accident, and I was right on the scene. Actually, a couple of stories of car accidents, but anyway, I was on the scene and right a big intersection. So I hit my hazard lights, get out, and I mean, just the look of the people in there was terrible. And so I could feel it, like you said, you felt it, because when you see things like that, your body reacts to it. So I could sense something was happening, but I decided to take charge and say, "Okay, someone called the ambulance. Someone called." I just kept occupied. It went away, and I was able to handle it. Then the second time was another person was in a head-on, and they asked me to visit and pray for them at the hospital. So I went in, and of course, I've seen this person when they were, normal looking, and I went in. I mean, face had swollen, black and blue. I mean, just terrible. And so I pray, and I could sense the wooziness coming. So I said, "Hey, I'll be right back." So I had to go outside and lean on the wall because it was happening. It's funny how the body reacts to those things.
Yeah, it's got a title. It's called synesthesia, where you essentially feel the pain that someone else is experiencing. I get it when I watch slapstick humour or videos of things like skateboarders when they try to do grinds down handrails and then fall. I feel quite a lot of pain when I watch those things. For that reason, I hate slapstick humour.
Wow, I've never. I use a skateboard, so it doesn't affect me, I guess.
I mean, watching it, you watch somebody fall over after doing some long grind and getting it wrong, and I feel pain when they hit the deck.
It brings back a memory for me when I hit the deck.
Oh, when you were skateboarding. Sorry, I misinterpreted
Yeah,
what you
when
said.
I was skateboarding, it was like I hit the deck quite a few times. But I was back in the day before the skateboards had the really nice bearings and everything. So my kids skateboard really well. It was a way of surfing on land because we couldn't always get to the beach, and we missed it. So we get a skateboard, pretend we're surfing.
Seems like a pretty reasonable mode of transport when I see people scooting around, actually getting about on them. I don't mean just like playing with them, like using them instead of a bike or whatever they'd be using if they didn't have that skateboard. I just think, yeah, that looks like a reasonable, it's small. You can chuck it in your bag, just about.
Sure. Yeah, they had all kinds of, they had stuff that would hook up to your shoes for skates on your shoes, and you could take them apart instead of having full-on skate shoes. And then the skateboards came in, and I remember doing it on metal wheels, believe it or not. It was like, and now you got the polyurethane wheels, and come a long way.
Right.
Yeah, but it's fun because you ride on the sidewalk and a few kick starts and you're rolling, and then you could see there's a crossing coming on, and if no one's there, you just jump it and keep going. But sometimes you have to stop and kick your board up, catch it, walk, and then start again. All those things you start picking up as a kid. I can do it now, but I'd have to practice.
Do a quick plug for Arwin. He typically did a 2-hour show over the weekend when there was no debate. So it'd start an hour earlier, 1 p.m. Amsterdam time, 12 p.m. rather UK time on a Saturday and Sunday. But now he does that every day. So based on him having more to provide or more content to put out there, he now does a 2-hour show daily. So quick shout out to Arwin. Show now starts an hour earlier.
Wow. A long time. Every day.
Well, then he comes here for another 2 hours plus, doesn't he?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's got that, and he's got this, and he goes shopping in between.
Yeah, sometimes he disappears during the show, to be fair.
Hey, I'm going to put up a couple of, well, actually 3 things in Masterby for you. We can talk about it because this happens all the time on the show as well.
Are they to be gone through in housekeeping?
No, this is on the Hegelian dialect.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, we're going to go here.
Problem, reaction, solution, right?
Yeah, it's a good topic.
Yeah,
People
cool.
need to be awake of it. Okay, they're up there.
Good a subject as any. On my light.
You got the first one?
I haven't got any of them yet. Did you say Ballbusters or Master B?
Master B.
It's Mr. Sensible.
No.
Hegelian dialectic. Yeah, I've got it.
All right. So the first one, the black and white one.
Did you want it up
the
now? 'Cause
synthetics.
I'm about to start in 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay. Well, just use it to fill in whenever you want. It was just there for us to converse until the show started.
Oh, okay. Well, we're about to start literally now. Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Now, we are joined by Paul Hall, Neil, somebody who's trying to get in while I'm doing my intro, which is Adam, and Sentman. I think I've covered all of them, and also a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome, one and all.
Hey, everybody. Hello. Wow.
Good morning.
Just for future reference, those of you who've joined on Google, please don't join while I'm doing the intro. Right on the hour, I see all things flashing and invites saying, please let me in while I'm looking at a camera, like Arwin's just done. But I have actually finished on camera now, to be fair. So once Arwin's in and we've said hello, we'll do a bit of housekeeping. Hello, Arwin. 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 Arwin!
Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I had my sound off and I was on mute.
Okay.
Oh.
And you're a bit too
Hi.
loud, so maybe back off your mic.
I'm loud?
A little bit, just back off your mic, maybe 2 or 3 inches. And make sure you...
All right. Well,
make
it's
sure-
better than... Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Stop these sound things today.
Right. Okie dokie.
Yeah, at least I'm just normal. Because that sucked when yesterday nobody could hear me.
Yes, it does, but let's not discuss it right at the beginning of the show. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere-edge horizon, formerly known as Earth curvature? Shout out to Trey Dior for the super chat. Thank you very much, Trey.
Yeah, I'll steal Adam's thunder. Nothing Nottingham.
Ah,
They never claimed the geometric horizon. Haven't you heard Rumpus?
yeah, they do. They claim boats and buildings are blocked by it, and they can qualify it with a feet and inches value for how much the physical geometric sphere-edge horizon has obstructed the thing in the distance. They absolutely equate the horizon we see to a physical geometric sphere-edge horizon that only exists in the maths. It's a reification fallacy.
Yeah, but you can't really see it. It's just a point within photographs where it can be assessed that that is where the geometric horizon is. Now, of course, it doesn't look like a horizon at that point. It's just a point in a picture of where the geometric horizon should be. And they call it a horizon, but it doesn't actually match what a geometric horizon should be. But that's what it is nonetheless. So, yeah, take it or leave it.
Well, let me spend a little time on this. So the Earth, if it's a sphere, according to research you can do on shapes and stuff, if it's a sphere, it has a surface but not a face. And so we're having a little fun with the ballers here because they're saying Earth curve is what blocks the bottoms of boats and buildings rather than perspective and all the other things that go with perspective. So where is your Earth curve, which is your edge? Oh, but you only have a surface. There is really no edge, but it's something that supposedly blocks the bottom of boats and buildings.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways. Either it's a physical obstruction at the horizon called Earth curve edge, or it isn't. Now they're telling us it isn't. Okay, so the horizon's not an Earth curve edge then. Great, welcome to flat Earth.
Indeed.
Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
None whatsoever. They see the stars and sun and moon move, and they say it's the Earth moving. It's just so backwards.
Yeah, that's not us moving, is it? That's a.
Well, Adam.
So, although
a bit hold on, you're a bit quiet, Adam. You're a little bit quiet.
Oh, sorry, my mic's a little bit far. Is that better?
Yes.
Isn't this the one they should be proudly shouting as a Coriolis claim for them now? I do like that one, Nathan. I do like the way you've that one appeared. Because I'll be honest, before you'd said it, it never even occurred to me. It is, you know what I mean? But
what are you referring to? The Coriolis virus?
Yeah. No, well, so if I put my ball head on, then yes, the Coriolis effect I see of the sun is my evidence, and I'm taking my bowler hat straight off.
I've got you. So what you're saying is the fact that the sun moves and it's claimed Earth turns underneath it at 15 degrees an hour, second reference frame Coriolis drift is why the sun appears to move. It's an apparent deflection as Earth turns underneath. That would be Coriolis deflection. You would say that loud and proud is their claim. We have Coriolis drift. And it's asserted with other things like bullets and balls, i.e. Earth turns underneath them at 15 degrees an hour, gyroscopes, pendulum, same thing. Therefore, flight times would be reduced and we can finally get to the point of actually pummeling their actual claim rather than pointing out to them what they should be claiming as they deny it because they've been infected with the Coriolis virus.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Probably giving them a decent argument there. Stop it.
Yeah, it won't be an argument where basically the audience, including idiots like Simon Dan, watch the argument and assume that we're claiming Earth should turn underneath at 15 degrees an hour, when that's not their claim. So you end up, as an audience member, listening to a flat earther pointing out to a globe earther what they should be claiming and why they are denying it and why they shouldn't be denying what they should claim. And you never get to the point of saying Earth isn't turning underneath anything at 15 degrees an hour. If it was, it shortened flight times. You'd have drones whizzing away 1,000 miles an hour on the equator because you were spinning underneath them at 1,000 miles an hour, as is claimed. 15 degrees an hour drift, that's 1,000 miles an hour on the equator. Well, if stuff not attached drifts away at 15 degrees an hour, that's a drone flying away from you at 1,000 miles an hour on the equator, if it was real. It isn't.
Now you've ruined it now, yeah. You've destroyed that argument. It held together for a sentence or two longer than what the ballers have, but...
haven't we already seen that response though? Because didn't somebody come in here and ask us, well, how is the sun shining underneath these clouds? And we asked them, well, how did the sun get there in your narrative, right? And we all know that in his narrative, the sun got there because the Earth is rotating, but he clearly said, oh, that's irrelevant.
Yeah, it was Ed.
Well, how is that irrelevant? Isn't that the whole point?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
There's now several things that we can attribute to their actual globe claim. Their globe claim is 15 degrees an hour drift. That's how they phrase it, as simplistic and as short as that. 15 degrees an hour drift. They don't say of what, and they don't say why. Well, it's 15 degrees an hour drift as Earth turns underneath things that aren't attached, so they appear to drift. That's Coriolis effect. Now, if I say Coriolis effect, everyone will know what that is, and normally associate it with an Earth that turns, even though it's an effect that you could observe on a roundabout. But they won't necessarily put the two things together. It's claimed Earth has Coriolis effect. That would be the effect of us turning underneath stuff not attached, seeing them seem to drift. Well, once you understand that Earth is claimed to turn underneath stuff not attached to cause Coriolis deflection, you can say that would mean Earth's turning underneath stuff not attached then. Well, it isn't. Charlotte to LA would take an hour and a half instead of 4.5 hours. So it's travelling west with Earth turning underneath it, claimed to be 800 miles an hour at that latitude. Well, then you'd have an hour and a half flight time because Earth's turning underneath it, so the guy on the ground can look up at the plane and go, oh, wow, look, it looks like it's drifting. That's me turning underneath it, you know, that's called Coriolis effect on a turning Earth. And does anybody ever say that ever? Well, if they do, it's not because Earth's turning underneath the plane, because that would shorten the flight time. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Nope.
Is that it? No.
No, we're not here.
No sun anywhere right now. It's just a bunch of gray soup. I don't even know literally where the sun would be angular-wise at this point. And that's all the information we got anyway, so...
No.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Yes.
Who said yes?
Somebody said yes.
Yeah.
Somebody whispered it.
So proud of their gravity.
Feel free. Scientific evidence. What is it? I think you were hallucinating. I didn't hear anybody say yes.
No, someone said yes.
It was a group hallucination then.
I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Come on, brave soul. Who said yes? Scientific evidence of gravity, please. If we don't hear anything, we'll have to move on. Okay, let's widen the net. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
They could, but they don't, because their tradition is that of a storytelling tradition, and the more science get involved, the more it becomes apparent it's all just a just so story anyway.
I have a question.
Oh, here's our yes man.
Sorry, any
I have a
single
question.
viable hypothesis for any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics. This isn't your turn to ask questions. It's your turn to give answers for the Western world's belief they're on a sphere, in this instance with scientific evidence.
Okay, I just got a question, so I don't have answers. I just got a question, so my bad.
Okay, can you wait till after, please? Any viable hypotheses? Anybody at all?
Nope. Not from Nottingham. Got it back then.
Well,
Any
if they have them, when they be printed somewhere, when they made the claims, they would show us.
Yeah, you'd expect that. But no, there is no scientific evidence for the sphere Earth they claim we stand upon. It's merely a philosophy that's been reified. Any evidence of the R value, Earth radius?
No, Black Swan took care of that.
Not in 2020.
Not ever. It's a Jedi mind trick. Always has been.
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Absolutely not.
That would literally debunk the definition of gas pressure.
Right. The force it exerts on the walls of its container. That concludes the housekeeping. Now, my question to Stranger Danger. Given that you haven't answered a single question, why would we answer anything of you?
I have a question for the ballers.
Hold on, Arwin. Clearly I was talking to somebody else.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Stranger Danger.
Okay. So, there are people who have knowledge, and there are people who are trying to obtain knowledge, right? And when you're trying to obtain knowledge, then you got to turn to the people that have knowledge, right? The people that do not have knowledge cannot answer questions because they do not have the knowledge to answer those questions. The people that have the knowledge and you can obtain knowledge from can answer questions because they do have that knowledge to answer questions. So that's my reasoning why I suppose it would be fair for you to answer questions, even though I cannot answer your questions. Because you claim you have a superior knowledge.
Oh, when did I claim that?
You're implying it.
Sorry, you just said I
By the
claimed
fact
it.
that
So you're a liar. So you're a liar
implying it by the
immediately.
fact that
As
you're
soon as you
proclaiming
start saying things I haven't said, and I ask you on the spot, when have I said it? I haven't. So you're just a liar.
I'm saying, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you have directly said it.
You did just say that. That's what you just said, you piece of shit. You just lied. I just called you on it, and now you're retracting your outright overt lie.
Well, he said he implied
I did
it.
not say.
But
I did not
how
say
do you
that
do?
you're
How do you
claiming it.
imply that? That makes no sense.
It's just said. I'm not saying I'm saying you're claiming it. Those were your exact words.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was phrasing this wrong.
Okay,
What I meant is that just realizing the Earth is flat implies superior knowledge to what the majority of the world, to the worldview of the majority of the world. Because the majority
Sorry,
Can
that's
I
a
just take
baseless
that
generalization
point, that
and stereotyping
implication,
fallacy. So you're going to speak for the general world's view. No, baseless generalization stereotyping fallacy. Any more fallacies for us? Or quotes I haven't said?
Okay,
or claims I
that's
haven't
not-
made?
you're-
Or any more things that you're going to talk through me? When I point out that you've just used a baseless generalization fallacy, you're going to talk through that too? I'm talking. You're being told off for using a baseless generalization fallacy and talking for the entire world.
Okay, you're missing the point of what I said.
What, that the entire world thinks what you think as one man? No, I'm not missing the point. I'm highlighting a baseless generalization and stereotyping fallacy, which you are now ignoring.
Exactly, you're missing the point because that's not the point of what I said.
Oh, well, why did you say that the general thoughts and feelings of the world are as follows, and then state your feelings as an individual, only to say that, like with the claim I've not made, that's not what you're saying, even though it's precisely what you have just said?
It's not the point of what I've said.
What's your point?
The point is that realizing the Earth is flat implies superior knowledge to not having realized that.
Says you.
That's the point of what I
Says
said.
you. To you. Based on your opinion.
Okay.
One man. Okay, thanks for your
Yes.
opinion. That's nice. That's a nice
Okay.
opinion.
So, okay, yes. So, as someone who has inferior knowledge, I suppose
Right,
it's
we
fair
all we
to
all
ask
have
questions
we all
by
have
not-
the same knowledge. This is fundamentally incorrect assumption with regards to how and what drives a flat earther to come to their conclusion. We all have the same knowledge. What we
It doesn't imply. No, it doesn't imply
is
an
that-
intent or drive.
I haven't finished.
Can you
I
let
did
him
not go
finish?
there. That's not the point.
Let
You're
him
missing my
finish.
point again.
I haven't.
Let
I haven't
Adam
finished.
finish.
The knowledge we all
It
have
doesn't
is
matter.
the same.
You're missing
Oh, God,
the
you're going
point.
to get removed.
I was answering.
Stop
I was
rumpusing.
answering
Stop
the
it.
question.
Stop it.
I was answering
Hello?
the question.
Master,
Why
stop
I
being
would
a
think
dick face,
that you
bro.
would answer questions from
Relax
me, even though
yourself,
I did
man.
not answer any questions from you, because I do not have the
This is
knowledge,
always
but
how
you
this guy is.
imply that you have knowledge by having realized something I did not.
Okay, thank you. That's your opinion.
was
We've
the
established
answer
that already.
to your
You don't
question-
need to
to
say
the
it 5
question
more
that you
times.
usually ask.
I'm going to remove you. Right? You don't need to repeat it. We heard it. Now someone else is talking. You don't need to repeat your exact same nonsense through the top of someone else. Do it again. End of your
Well,
time
you
here.
keep missing the point, though.
I don't need to hear it repeated. If you say you're missing my point through someone else again, I will remove you. So say it again so I can do it now. Go on, Adam.
Okay, so maybe just to bring it back to that. So we all have the same knowledge. What the difference is, we're coming to different conclusions. Now, our conclusions are based on real science, and gas pressures probably a good example of this. Your paradigm says we can have it without it, even though all the science, all the knowledge we have is exactly the same. We're just coming to a different conclusion. Ours, based by sticking with natural law, yours, based on a religious viewpoint. But it's the knowledge is the same. We don't hold any secret knowledge.
Okay, can you define knowledge?
No, I don't need to. You define what you're classing as knowledge that you think I've got secret to you.
Okay, I'm going to define knowledge then. Knowledge is a justified true belief.
Justified true belief?
Yes.
He's totally wrong. Knowledge is the word.
We do not have to say
science.
knowledge if we come to different conclusions.
Excuse me. Scientia, knowledge, science is its knowledge is science.
Are you going to the point that I put to you, though?
Knowledge and science are not equivalent. They are strongly correlated with each other.
Okay, let's just try again. Adam's put a point to you that we don't claim to have some secret knowledge, but you've not addressed him.
Okay, yeah, okay. I never implied that.
You implied that the entire world thinks it, based on your single man's opinion.
Okay, so
not okay, right? You've just implied that the entire world thinks this, based on your single opinion about it. And you're saying, well, no, you're not getting the point. Yeah, we are.
No, I'm not. I never stated an opinion of mine.
So. Oh, really? You didn't just give a baseless generalization that the entire world thinks as you do? You didn't do that. Yeah, you did.
No, that wasn't. You're missing my point.
Oh, I'm just missing the point. Not listening carefully and pulling apart fallacy. I'm just missing the point. It's basically, I don't understand.
So, now I have answered a question of yours. Do you think it's fair if I ask a question now?
Do whatever you like. You can ask a question. I don't control your bloody windpipe and your tongue.
Would you mind answering that question as well?
Maybe. We'll have to see, won't we? Okay. You can't control me either, remember? It works both ways.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, you can control my actions in this channel because you're the moderator here. So my question is, do you know what an argument from silence is?
No, tell us what an argument from silence is.
Does that mean you don't know what an argument from silence is?
What, me saying no, tell us what it means? Does me saying no and you could tell us mean I don't know? Maybe me saying no and then inviting you to tell us implies other than me saying no. What kind of a thicko are you? Why would you need to clarify that?
I'm sorry, the no was cut off, so to me it sounded like a side and tell us. So, my bad, this was just a misunderstanding.
No worries. Tell us what an argument from silence is. Feel free.
Okay. So an argument from silence is to express a conclusion that is based on the absence of a statement in historical documents, or rather than their presence, where it would be expected to have that statement, basically. That's an argument from silence.
They're saying somebody who doesn't give a response to a question. For example, if I was to ask you for the reason why we have premature sycamore pollination in the north of England on a sphere, and you were to fail to answer that, that would be my victory if you could then claim argument from silence. No, just because I haven't answered doesn't mean that your position's correct. Am I right?
I'm not concluding to, like, I don't know where you're putting this victory and loss thing in there. That confused me.
Well, a fallacy implies that someone's made an argument.
Yes.
You know what a fallacy is, right?
So I gave an example of an argument that I'd claim defeat based on you not answering it, and now I'm explaining it, something you don't understand because you're ignorant and didn't listen, and you're talking through me. What gives?
I just told you that you lost me halfway through.
Okay.
And then you were like scolding me for that, I guess.
What's your point? What has this got to do with anything? Is this going to ever lead anywhere?
No, it's not.
Okay. I just don't really understand the concept of your show.
Oh, that's a shame. Is that it? You don't understand, so you've come here to tell us that you don't understand.
This is the best you got at this point.
Well, you got to take it easy on him, Chocolate. He did say he was inferior.
The clue's in the title.
Seriously.
The clue's in the
Do you-
title.
Do you mind? Okay, it's not a debate. What you're doing here is not a debate. That's why I'm confused.
That's because you haven't brought any
That's
argument.
because you guys have no points, Master.
It's not a debate. I've bought nothing, and there's nothing to challenge. I've made no claims except baseless stereotyping fallacies about the whole of the world's thoughts, and declaring you've made claims you haven't. So, other than the fact that you've used a couple of fallacies, yeah, what? You haven't got anything to offer, therefore not a debate? No, you just haven't got anything to offer.
Okay, so I would appreciate if you stopped slandering me.
Sorry, I didn't slander you. I listened precisely to what you said and then gave detailed descriptions of the fallacies you employed. That's not slander. What are you talking about?
We already established that that generalization fallacy was not the point of what I was saying.
No, we didn't establish that. We established it was your one man's opinion that you wanted to widen the breadth of by attributing it to everybody in the world.
Again, this was not the point of what I
Yes, and we thanked you for your opinion.
By referring back to it, you're slandering.
Your point is merely an opinion you hold.
No, it's not.
Oh, really?
Hey,
So
can I
it's
try-
your fact that we have absolutely expressed details that we have advanced knowledge over and above everyone else because we think Earth is flat. You think you can demonstrate that, do you? It's not just one man's opinion. Yeah, it is.
The point of what I was saying was demonstrating why I thought it was fair for you to answer questions, even though I did not answer questions. Now, I would appreciate, or I would probably understand the purpose of this panel better if I knew what the purpose of the housekeeping questions is.
Oh, okay.
What the
Why
fuck?
you ask?
Well, what do you think the purpose is? What do you think the purpose of asking on a show named Flat Earth Debate if there is any evidence of Earth being curved? You don't see the point in that. Then you are mentally retarded.
Well,
Okay, can I ask him a
abstractly,
question?
yes, I would assume.
Yeah, and that's
the
not
purpose is
slander,
to
by the
find-
way, the mental retardation. That's just a sound
Okay.
conclusion of the facts.
Okay, so
Master,
yes.
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Did you have any
Can I
answers
first
for
answer
any of the questions?
Nathan's question, please? Like Nathan asked me a question, what do you think the purpose is? And I would attempt to
I
explain.
didn't ask that question. I said,
Go
what?
ahead.
I expressed my disbelief that on a show called Flat Earth Debate, when asking any evidence of Earth curvature, that you wouldn't understand the point of that. I didn't ask you a question. I expressed disbelief that you couldn't understand that and declared quite openly that that would make you mentally retarded. I didn't ask you anything.
So you asked a rhetorical question then. Okay.
I didn't ask a question. I stated a fact, right? That which you have stated, which you used to say on a Flat Earth Debate show named thus, when asking any evidence of Earth curve, you fail to see the point in that. That's ludicrous. Stupidity.
Nathan, I will quote you. What you said, what do you think the purpose
You know what you
of the
could do
question-
to
of this
establish the
question?
purpose of this show, Ed Master? You know what you could do? You can give us an answer to the question. And then you could be really happy because then it would be a debate, wouldn't it? Right? So
Nah,
is there any
no, it wouldn't.
evidence for your spinning ball, space monkey religion?
It would be a scam. It wouldn't be a debate. I have followed this show, and I know it would not lead to a debate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Nathan
you know
won't
why?
allow-
Because you
won't
don't
allow
have
it.
any
Okay.
answers.
Okay, back
Because
off
the
you.
Earth is not a globe.
Arwen, you're
That's
distorting.
why.
Please.
doesn't-
Hello, everyone. Arwen, please. You're distorting to all hell.
This show would not lead to a debate.
Sorry, your purpose in being here is to debate whether or not this is a debate show. Am I correct?
No, I'm just telling you.
Oh, you're just here to tell the host of a debate show, having asked multiple questions about the nature of reality, you're here to tell him it's not a debate. Is that correct?
You're a host of a debate show that has a panel that consists of people that follow and parrot your beliefs blindly.
Oh, really? So you parrot my beliefs blindly, do you? You state also that the Earth is obviously and observably flat. This is you on my panel stating that because you believe it blindly, correct?
You're the one.
Stutter for me! That'll be the taste of my nuts.
You
So clearly not a panel full of people who agree with me then. Your presence defies your own nonsense, mate.
really? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
you just destroyed yourself, man.
Yeah, really. That's right. That is my balls in your mouth. That's really, yes, that's really.
how big?
How big are they? Huge. Salty too.
So how big is the fact?
They're
This is really
huge.
all you
They're
got,
in your
man.
mouth.
This is really
They're
all you got.
teabagging you. That's what's happening. You've just declared this is a panel full of people who are basically sycophants. And yet here you are disagreeing with us.
How big?
How is it time to move on to an annihilation of your debating point? Also rendering your claim that this isn't a debate false.
This isn't a debate.
Oh, really? Even though we've just done a little debate and proven you wrong, and you've been annihilated, you've even proven your own claim wrong by your own presence here, and yet you think this isn't a debate. Yeah, again, stupid, mate.
This is not a debate.
Yeah, you keep parroting and chanting that, but it is. You're
know
just
why?
idiotic.
You know why you might
He's
think
right,
that,
though.
Master? Because every day we ask people, do they have any evidence for their ball, and they do not. Do you?
I'd like to.
Who
Hey,
are you
Master?
asking?
I'd like to remind him that when Nathan asked a question about any scientific evidence of gravity, he had a very silent but audible yes, but he wouldn't respond. So why did you say yes to that question and not give the evidence, Headmaster?
I did not say yes.
A flat Earth debating and stop debating about debating.
Quick shout
What
out
is a
to
debate?
quick shout out to James Richard. An argument from science should require scientific evidence. Indeed, James. Thank you for the super chat.
So you said yes to evidence
See, this is
scientifically
not
for
a debate.
gravity.
This is
Please
you
present
making money.
it so we can have a debate.
It's got an issue with me making money. That's
You
the
know
problem.
what I find funny is that this clown has been
because
around
you're
doing
scamming
this
people
for a
to
while,
do so.
right?
That's
Doing
that's
this on
the bullshit
24/7,
part
coming
about
here
it.
with this
That's,
crap. And what he's doing, he never actually holds a point, right? Never actually tries to debate a certain side. He always tries to stay real neutral, and then will ask you about your point. So I find it kind of funny that you'll come in here and say, "Oh, this is not a debate show," when we've just asked you about what 9 questions you had no response to. You whispered yes to one of them, but won't talk about that, right? But then continue to talk about how this is not a debate show when you're here to debate. Do you know how ridiculous you sound?
Well, he's not here to debate. He's complaining
has
there's no
nothing
debate
to
because
debate.
he won't engage in a debate. That's why there's no debate here, because he
Clown.
won't engage in the debate.
So is this the debate right now?
Do you need us to make a claim for it to be a debate? Is that what you're saying? If I make a claim, will you challenge it?
No, I didn't say
You
what.
didn't want to actually have a debate. You want to turn it into a non-debate. If I
No,
make a
no,
claim, will you challenge it? Because you're here on a debate show saying it's not a debate. So I'm saying, will you defy that and make it a debate if that's your issue by challenging a claim I make? Is that what you need?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna challenge you on a statement.
Oh, right, okay.
Because my experience is that there's no
You're a real clown.
justified moderation.
Moderation.
So why are you here?
Needs to be
Oh,
biased.
the format. Oh, the
It's the
format's
format,
not
yeah.
good.
Not the
Oh.
format, not the format.
Why are you
not
here,
the format
then?
itself, not the
Why are you
construct
here?
itself, but how it's executed.
Fine. Why are you here then?
Well, I did state my purpose initially, and I did actually ask my question, and I did get an answer. So
No,
there's
why are you here
no
if
reason
it's
for me
not
to be
a
talking
proper
about it.
show for
You're
you? Why
right.
do you even come?
I'm sorry.
If the deck is stacked
Well,
against you and you don't
to-
like the
for-
format, why do you come?
To inform myself in order to reduce my personal bias, basically.
In order to reduce your
This is
personal bias.
Concept that's yeah, because we as human, like it's natural that you tend to want to confirm the opinions and the views that you already hold, the beliefs that you already hold.
No, that's what you want to do.
And I actively I mitigate that by actively acting against it, and by actually informing myself and taking in information that I do not agree with, that
like what?
do not comply with my initial view with what I'm comfortable with.
Okay, like what? Can you give me an example?
And that will reduce my personal bias.
Yes, I get that. Can you give us an example? This new information you've taken on board that's in an attempt to be non-conformative to your personal bias. Give us an example.
Well, of this show?
Any example?
Okay, any example. I've learned to understand how flat Earth things, how on the flat Earth things should disappear bottom up. How this is understood to happen. I've learned how that is understood to work by taking in such information.
Okay, fill us in. And you're saying this has challenged your current belief?
I'm not saying this has challenged my current belief. I'm just saying that this is what I learned, and therefore it reduced my personal bias.
Okay, and you say you've learned it.
Different conclusion.
When you say you've learned it, does that mean you have taken it on board as correct?
No.
So you haven't learned it?
Yeah, I've learned it, and I've also learned why it's wrong.
Oh, right, great.
And I have also concluded why it's wrong. But
excellent. Can you tell us? Could you tell us that?
What I've learned, or why I've concluded?
Both.
Why it's wrong.
Like both. What you've learned and why it's wrong. About what flat earthers give the reason for why things disappear into the distance. Feel free to tell us what you've learned and how it's wrong.
Okay. Well, what I've learned probably takes if I was prepared for that, I would probably be able to burn it down to 10 minutes.
That's okay.
Should be real easy, man.
Much time
just
is
tell us real quick.
No, that's fine. So... No, chocolate, that's fine. If it takes you 10 minutes, I don't mind.
Okay, I said if I was prepared for it, but I haven't prepared for this. I have not prepared a presentation for this. So
you haven't learned
it. It'll take 20 minutes.
So when you said to us that you'd learned it to challenge your current feelings, you haven't learned it. You'd have to go away and learn it.
No, I would.
Well, then you haven't learned it, because you're saying that you haven't learned it and you couldn't do it without preparation, even if you had 10 minutes straight to do it in. So you have not learned this stuff that you feel is wrong. But you still feel it's wrong, though, right?
Nathan, you didn't let me finish.
I asked you, I gave you 10 minutes. I was on mute. I had the panel on mute. I said you can have 10 minutes. Take as much time as you need. Those were my exact words. Now that I've pointed out that you haven't learned anything, you can't detail that which you assume is incorrect, even though you can't repeat it back to us. You're going to tell me that, I haven't given you a chance to speak. I gave you 10 minutes. You said I said 10 minutes. Have as much time as you need.
Okay, Nathan.
Not okay, you just haven't learned anything. What you're telling us is wrong. You're saying, I've learned all about flat Earth and I know how it's wrong. So much so that it's challenged my fundamental belief and I've proven it to be presumably right. Complete stark contrast to what you're claiming you've done, which is to prove your current rhetoric wrong in learning new things. But what you're saying is I have learnt new things and they didn't prove what I know wrong. We ask you what you've learned and how it's wrong and you can't tell us. So you haven't learned anything. All you're doing is confirming that your standard belief hasn't had anything taught to yourself to challenge it that you could detail to us now. So in other words, what you believe that I haven't learned is wrong, and my standard belief that I have in no way challenged because I haven't learned anything to challenge it is right. That's what you're telling us.
No.
That's crazy.
No. So, okay, you've just told us that you can tell us how flat earthers who understand what goes into the distance and why it's disappearing is wrong. Well, I'd like you to do that then. If no, then you can do that. That would be the thing that demonstrates me to be incorrect. You doing it, telling us what it is we believe according to you and how it's wrong.
So what I've said is, if I had prepared a presentation for it, I could probably boil it down to 10 minutes.
Go on then.
Right? But I did
Feel
not.
free.
I did not. But I did not prepare a presentation of this.
Okay,
right?
if you need a little longer,
take you like 20 minutes.
No worries.
Half hour.
Boil it
No
down.
worries.
So
if it takes you a bit longer, no worries.
Since I did not boil it down already, I would stumble on a lot, and it would probably be very, very frustrating for everybody involved.
What, you not knowing what you were talking about would be frustrating? Yeah, shock horror. When people babble along, not really knowing what they're talking about because they haven't learned the thing they're talking about, that is extremely frustrating. That's what we call somebody being a pretender clown. Fumbling and farting their way through a subject they haven't got a clue about and declaring that it would be unreasonable to us. Yeah, it would, because you haven't learnt it. Somebody who had learnt a subject to the point that they understood how it was right or wrong would be able to detail it. Given 20 or 10 minutes, you'd be able to. You can't because you don't. Awaken narrative. Thank you very much for the super chat. This guy ain't saying $HIT. Indeed, he isn't saying shit. I mean, $HIT. Here we go again. Welcome to Penguin. Thank you for joining as a channel member.
Okay, so what I'm saying is not that I'm not knowing what I learned or what I'm detailing.
But you didn't learn it because you can't explain it to us, man.
Well,
do you not understand how this is all crazy? You came in here, you said, we understand. Well, I know why you flat earthers think that, what the reasoning is that you guys have for things disappearing bottom up. But I also know that that's wrong. So we're asking you, as flat earthers, we're saying, hey, why is that wrong? And you cannot tell us at all. Now you're saying, I didn't prepare for that. I need a presentation. If I had one, it'd take 10 minutes. If I didn't have one, it's going to take me I don't know how long, and everyone's going to be annoyed. Well, I don't know if you can tell. We're already all annoyed with your silly ass because this is ridiculous. So can you give us the Cliff Notes version of why you think we're wrong? Like just like if you were trying to explain it to like a 10-year-old, could you do that at least? That would show us that you have actually learned something. Because other than that, we're just talking shit. Or you are.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Big shout out to Tony Whitcomb, who's just sent £100. I think that's the biggest super chat I've ever had. Maybe not. But big super chat from Tony. Thank you very much indeed. Says Stranger Danger is suffering the severe case of cognitive dissonance. Indeed, he is.
Yeah.
Really? How so?
Because you claim you know something and you've proven nothing but that you don't know anything. You don't even know your arguments. You said you had to study up. What kind of an idiot thinks he knows something but can't present it on a whim? You literally have to go back and then study to build your argument? That means you don't know shit.
Okay,
that's what that means.
Thank you. Arwin, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Arwin, please either turn your gain down or just back off your mic another couple of inches because you'll listen back to it and go, God, I sound terrible. I've tried 3 times to tell you. Please turn down the gain on the back of the mic or back off it. Because you're clipping.
How's this?
That's better.
Is that better? Okay.
Better.
Now it's half a meter away.
Perfect. That's much better. It's just so you don't. Right. When you're passionate, we don't want you clipping your mic. We want to hear that passion.
All right.
That's perfect. You didn't clip even though you shouted. Perfect. Okay, no more testing. Thank you.
So where did I say I needed to study up in order to boil it down?
Well, you said you understood the reasons we give for things disappearing into the distance and that you could prove them wrong, but you can't, and you haven't, and you don't.
Did I say I can prove them wrong?
Yeah, that was your point in all this. You kept telling us we didn't understand your point, and your point was that you had learned things contrasting to your, and now I'm highlighting what he's claimed, and everyone's talking through me. So yes, you claimed that you had learned things contrasting your current rhetoric and belief, and that based on them being learned, you could detail why they were wrong. That's what you claimed.
The point of what I was saying.
And now it's a different point that you were saying, while I'm detailing the point that you were saying that we've listened to and ripped to shreds in debate. Yeah, no, we don't need you to talk through me telling you what our point is. Our point is ripping apart your point, which was nonsensical. You don't have any learned point to detail to prove wrong, and you're still doing it. Yeah, why? Because you have nothing, Globers. This is all you have, a great string of nonsense that doesn't take anybody anywhere. This guy's not proving you're on a sphere. This guy's not proving any of our points wrong. He's doing literally nothing but wasting everybody's time, talking through them, trying to wind them up, like he's doing right now. Useless.
Okay, so the only reason these points get shredded is because I'm responding to a question, and then you're taking the point that I'm making by responding to his question and moving the point.
You haven't made a point. You haven't made any point. You haven't caught up to that yet.
You're flashing, but we can't hear you, Stranger Danger. My end. I'll just refresh Discord. Maybe it's me.
Yeah. Stranger Danger, you're complaining about a response to a point that you haven't made. You're meta-talking, whining. Stop it.
Hold on. Stranger Danger, can you drop and rejoin? Because you're flashing, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can someone else in Discord say hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Stranger Danger, please can you drop and rejoin? We can't hear you. Not that I really care. Well, it wasn't that
I
fun.
know why you flat earthers are wrong about things disappearing, about them up in the distance. Why are we wrong? Oh, I don't know.
I'd have to learn.
How about, is there any scientific evidence for gravity? Yes. Okay. Where are they? Oh, I need to prepare for it. How much time do you need? Well, if I prepare for 10 minutes, well, have 20. Help.
This is what the globe has, man. It's just sad. It's so terrible.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm really prepared.
Yeah, that's about the level that we get. This isn't a debate. Oh, really? Let's discuss your baseless stereotyping fallacy. Oh, no. Because that would be a debate now, wouldn't it?
What was he going at when he came in with knowledge and inferior? What was his end game there?
Now, Tom, you guys think you're so clever. That's what he's saying.
Well, prove us wrong.
We didn't get into any debating points about the subject matter. Go on, Chocolate, sorry.
This is his tactic. He doesn't come here to prove globe. All he does is ask about flat earth and our views and our stance. He doesn't come here to prove globe. I know this guy. He's done it in 24/7. He does it here. This is his tactic. So
yeah. So sorry. He's got a history of doing the same thing. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. This is nothing new with this guy. That's why I called him a master, because that's the name I know him on. And I mean, the previous history has nothing to do with, anything in particular, except the fact that he's doing the same nonsense here now. After all this time, this is the same tactic. So it's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Well, it has nothing to do with it, except he keeps doing it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he did it before and it was just like, whatever, if he came here today with a better argument or an argument to begin with, that would have been something. I wouldn't be talking about what he's done. But he's already displayed that this is his tactic. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, the IQ is not high because this is called Flat Earth Debate Show. So you come on, we have these housekeeping questions that get asked every day, and we're basically asking for someone to debate them with us. Then it turns into this nonsense.
Well, when they don't have arguments, then they come in and complain how there isn't any debate, because they don't come in to debate. And then it's our fault that they don't come in to debate us because they have no arguments. That's what he's been doing.
Yeah, then we wind up debating about whether or not it's a debate show. It's pathetic. Come with some evidence for the sphere. You'd think you'd have tons of it. Western world. I can make this baseless generalisation because it isn't baseless. Most of the Western world think they're on a sphere. facts. We're in the minority. So you'd think you'd have an absolute ton of evidence to prove your religious worldview, but there isn't any. Literally none. So we have to debate about whether or not flat earthers challenging the globe earthers to actually provide some evidence are having debates or not, when people often come here with claims of sphericity and earth turn and sky vacuums, and we pull them apart. Yeah, it's absolutely a debate show. The fact that the opponent has got so little to offer that they'd rather debate about the format of the show than their claim Earth's a sphere should be very telling to anybody watching.
Yeah. The normie out there believes all, and he says that we're all the same here. We're all your puppet, or what was the word he used? Not puppet.
Parrot.
Parrot, yeah. Gee, I know that I've been in debates over other issues with my good friends here on the panel. We're not all thinking the same things on every subject, but we all have looked into this subject, and we have determined by those 8 housekeeping questions, or 9, whatever they are now, that, hey, you know what? We were lied to, and I'm going to join this debate, and let's see if the ballers can come and answer these questions. And they can't.
Maybe he would have had more fun like 3 years ago when there was like, 7 ballers on this panel flinging crap all over the place like they did. Maybe he would have enjoyed that back then. But now there is no debate because there's no evidence for your globe. Maybe that's your complaint. Maybe you should take that up with your side. Why?
And yeah, if there isn't any evidence for the globe, then why are we even asking them for it?
It's a demonstration that there is no.
That it's out there.
Exactly, it's a demonstration that there isn't any. So if you don't ask people to present their evidence, people just assume that there's tons of it. Well, no, there isn't any. There's not a shred of evidence that we live on a sphere. Just outrageous claims backed by religious fundies.
That's why he says he needs 10 minutes, because he doesn't have anything.
Right. No, he's got his automatic worldview that everyone else in the Western world has, that he claims he's looked into to challenge, and he hasn't. You can't rattle off the explanations we give to debunk their claim we have physical geometric sphere edge horizons and things disappearing at feet and inches or meters value, which doesn't change with distance, excluding all aspects of angular size. That would be perspective. That's our argument. So what was that, 5 sentences tops? Really easy. But you can't summarise it because he hasn't learnt it. But he's claiming he's learnt it and therefore knows why it's wrong. And that we're not having a debate and I'm here to scam people. It's an absolute outrage. On that note, I just want to make a quick mention of my GoFundMe campaign. So if you did want to support me treating this YouTube studio, there's a GoFundMe campaign link in the info box and in the live chat right now. How dare he call me a scammer? I'm not just here for money. It's a total outrage.
How dare they is right.
Smash the super chat.
Smash the super chat, indeed.
Smash that super chat.
Wow, Nathan, you really went to a base level there.
A base level, eh? Actually, just for those who have actually contributed, big thank you, because I've actually got something come through the post today, literally just before the show started. I'll show this box. I don't know if it'll fit on camera, so I'll just show this on camera. Let's see if I can get my lights on. Oh God, I'm smacking everything with this giant acoustic treatment box. Just give me a second. I might as well show it on a live show, just so someone can actually see what I've been purchasing. So this is my. Can I fit it on camera? No, I can't.
Did you hear Neil?
A giant box with bass straps in it. So while the last 5 minutes of this live show's rolling, I'm going to open this box on mute so you can't hear a load of rustling. Hopefully you'll talk amongst yourselves and won't be dead air for the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Neil. Are you doing
Hold on,
live
I got a Rastafari who said he was taught in school in Jamaica, right? That the earth was round. How old are you, Dred? 55? Okay, so there you have it.
Well, it could be a planisphere. It could be round, but is it a globe?
I see what you're saying. It could be round, but not necessarily a globe, as in a ball.
I got a quarter in my pocket that's round. It's not a ball,
he
is
asked
it?
me, how come we don't fall off then?
Fall off what?
He said if it's flat, they taught him that there was an edge, and he would fall off if he went
Well,
to the edge of the earth.
ask him how water stays on a round ball.
How does water stay in a round ball? Yeah, because that's what it is, right? We're 70% water, Dred. How come we're on a round ball? It's a good question, right? Yeah, we may have some success here.
Ask him if he's ever seen water level or round.
Have you seen water level?
Oh,
In other words, if you look at water on a river, it's flat, right? It's not round. You don't see it in a ball. So how are we a spinning water ball in the middle of space, violating the natural law of thermodynamics? Second law of thermodynamics, you can't have gas pressure out of a container.
Well,
And
here
we
he
live
goes.
in a pressurized system, right? So how can we be the vacuum of space? Right? Think about it. True, right? Is it?
Getting
I
alive.
gotta change the subject because Nathan put up that picture with him and Patricia Spear again. that lady's beautiful.
You can't get much better than that, right? How's that variety? You've got a live debate going on in the background between Neil and someone in his actual presence. You've got me unboxing acoustic treatment and spray glue. Man, what a great variety you get on Flat Earth Debate.
No. I had him on for the guys listening too. They were feeding me the questions. Yeah,
Well,
but
some people-
you don't throw a picture of Patricia Steer up there. That'll throw me off track.
Some people are only here to reduce their personal bias, though.
By getting educated to the point they can tell an audience what we think and why it doesn't work. House and yeah, I get you. Sorry, I'm slightly fumbling over my words because I'm trying to read this super chat with my lights on bright. So I'm going to turn my lights off and actually read it. Pugsley Lovejoy. Aircraft carrier jets up for an hour, flying in all directions, return to the same spot they took off from, and the carrier has not moved 1,000 miles an hour with the globe. Right on, Pugsley. There is no 1,000 miles an hour turn of the earth underneath things not attached at the equator. It just doesn't happen. We'd notice. Also, a shout out to Nomad for hitting the super chat. Really do appreciate your support.
Well, tell us about the base.
It's just a foam cube that's a foot by one.
The Rastafarian walked away shaking his head. I got him thinking.
I love it, Neil. Man on the street.
Sounds like it's all about that bass. That bass.
No treble.
Well, we do get in treble a lot, though.
Just kudos to Neil. Yeah, thank you, Neil, for having a nice live debate about the fakeness that is the sky vacuum and the violation of the second law of thermodynamics. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas we breathe would fill the space. We'd have no air to breathe. It would all expand at high speed, rapidly in all directions, into that availability of volume, which is a space it can fill. And what do they claim the sky is? They gave it a name, didn't they? They called it space! How ironic. They're just laughing at us. Another shout out to Awaken Narrative. I am offended by Nathan blaming the Western world. I'm not blaming anybody. That's just a statement of truth, though, right? Who's going to challenge me on this? Most of the Western world think they're on a sphere. Is that a challengeable statement in any way, shape, or form? Are you going to prove that most of the Western world don't think they're on a sphere? They do. That's the purpose of this show. Now, the fact that we can't be challenged, or there is no decent rebuttal to any of the questions we put forward, doesn't mean it's not a debate. It just means that there isn't a globe beneath your feet. That's what it actually means.
Maybe it's that thing where it's starting to bother them that nobody's coming here and actually shutting us down. Maybe it's getting to them like, why are these guys still here asking these damn questions?
No, I heard they're still boycotting. That's a bunch of bull.
That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. And we had that after about 6 months of the show when we clamped down and stopped their nonsense. Suddenly they said, oh, we're going to boycott you then if you're going to win. How dare you not be capable of actually proving our arguments right by having to shut them down constantly and porn bomb you if you're winning. We're not playing then. Another shout out to Nomad for hitting the super chat. Really do appreciate your support. with that, I'm going to say, if you're watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, and especially big thank you today to all of you who actually did hit the GoFundMe campaign, as much as I said it in jest because someone was claiming that, oh no, where's it gone? Where's my GoFundMe campaign gone? Let's just bring that up, because I do actually wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who has actually supported that, on account of the fact that I've now got some actual things to show you, which I've just unboxed on the live stream. So if you did want to support my GoFundMe campaign, when you hit the donate button, just make sure you set the tip amount to 0, as opposed to the 10%, which it starts it off at automatically, and then all contributions will go to the fund. It is almost done, so it may not be the case that after this weekend I actually end up plugging this GoFundMe anymore, as it's not that far off its target. So huge, massive thank you to everyone who has supported the GoFundMe campaign up until now, on account of the fact that I have actually got something to show for it, which is always the purpose for those of you who actually support it. You want to see something that's actually been purchased that will do something useful, and those little cubes are. I've also ordered some other bits and bobs, so again, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to everybody who supported my GoFundMe campaign. Once again, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Massive thank you to today's Discord and Google panels for making today's live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video. Shout out to FE Diplomat for joining Nathan Oakley 1980 as a Lion channel member.
Oh, Nathan, I think you missed 2 nomads as well, 2 super chats from Nomad.
Oh, my bad. There was 2 extra ones that I just didn't shout out at all.
No, I don't think you got. He put me the side of Awaken and got missed, I think.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Did you?
I think
There's
so.
one at the end as well, though. So.
Yeah, I did. I did both of them. I think so.
Oh, right.
Let's get the picture back up. There we go.
Oh, they got a free one now, then. If not, shout out Nomad.
Yeah, shout out to Nomad. Thank you very much.
So you guys are still pretending the Earth is flat?
Hey,
you guys
Tim.
are still doing this as adults?
That's it.
Long time no see.
Hey, afternoon, Tim.
Tim, what's up, man?
Hope you are well, all of you.
Very well, thank you for asking.
Thank you, mate.
How are you?
After the
Pretty good. I mean,
it's actually
2020's
nice to
been,
hear your voice.
2020's been
As
quite
weird
the
as
year,
that
man.
might be.
I can't believe that people are still pretending the Earth is flat, truthfully.
I can't believe you're holding on to that globe model. It's 2020. Wake up.
Do you guys have any evidence of the flat Earth at this point? I mean, wasn't like January 1st or something, you had like the black swan, and then what, is that all you have still after 6 years?
What, a complete absence and lack of any Earth curvature demonstrable, leaving the Earth obviously and observably flat? That's not good enough.
So what happened to when I go to Antelope Island and I look at Salt Lake City? Like, what is that? I never got an answer for it.
What is what?
What's the new excuse for that?
For what? The thing you've been touting for the last 2 straight years?
Yeah, it was in 2018, about July, and all throughout the year of 2018, I have images and videos from drones and P900s.
Sure.
What is the new excuse for that? Is it
When
like
you say that,
the Riley criterion? Is
what's
it still
that? What's that? I don't understand what that is. What are you talking about? What is that?
Explained it already. Listen, clean the wax out of your...
Don't ad hominem. He'll have to remind me. It's my ignorance, not his problem. Please. You have to remind me what that is, Tim. My apologies for not remembering this 2-year-old claim that we obviously debunked ages ago.
No, that's actually never been debunked. It's a picture. You don't debunk it. But I'm just wondering, like...
Of what? A picture of what is that?
Curvature.
Curvature?
But,
oh, my
yeah.
bad. So you've reified the horizon into a physical geometric sphere edge? Why would you do such a thing?
Have you reified the flat?
Have I reified? You've reified this horizon into a physical geometric sphere edge, Tim. Why would you do such a thing?
So with the Black Swan, you reified the flat Earth with a flat edge? Is that what you're saying?
No, the Black Swan is what demolished your assertion that this edge of an Earth in your picture, the horizon, is a physical geometric sphere edge to block things, Tim.
Do you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but we have hundreds of thousands of images.
Of what? The horizon reified into a physical geometric sphere edge, like in the one you've just claimed? Are you going to ignore this 6 times?
No, from space. I'm just wondering.
Oh, space is fake. You can't have gas pressure without a container. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas we're all breathing would be filling it. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. Don't you understand natural law?
So if there's a dome, why isn't...
Why are you asking about a dome? You just said these pictures were taken from space, and I've just debunked your claim. Now you're moving on to a straw man dome I don't claim. Seem to be scattergunning. Also getting annihilated. So this picture that's never been addressed, Tim, yeah? I've just addressed it, mate.
Which one?
The one you had a physically reified edge of a sphere a la the horizon. Yeah, that horizon's not a physical sphere edge, mate. It's not geometric. It's not even capable of being measured. So why would you reify a horizon into a physical geometric sphere edge for boats to fall over? Why would you do that? That, by the way, Tim, is me absolutely annihilating this 2-year-old crap claim that reifies a horizon into a physical edge of a sphere.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Why, yeah, I know you don't. You're dumb. It's been debunked 2 years ago. You're too dumb to get it. You think you've still got a little proof, see? You haven't. Yeah, laugh it up, fun boy. This little proof, see, you're touting has been annihilated. The horizon's not a sphere edge, you dipshit.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you don't. You're dumb as fuck. The horizon's not a physical edge. Do you need me to rattle off a few quotes from your own side about how non-physical the horizon is? It's 2020, mate. Try and keep up. The horizon is not a physical geometric sphere edge, Tim. Didn't you know? You seem to know about the Black Swan, but yet you don't know what it means.
What is it then, Nathan?
There's my Black Swan. It's actually been posted.
Sorry, the Black Swan we have debunks your claim that this touted shite that you've just presented, claimed to be undebunkable, has just been annihilated by the fact we don't have a physical sphere edge. And that's what you're claiming is Earth curve, mate. Maybe ignore it for the 7th time.
Any of those claims. I've never made any of this. You're strawmanning.
Oh, really? So the horizon in this image isn't Earth curve?
You're
strawmanning me or ignoring what I've just pointed out. So you've never made that claim. So the horizon in your image is touted for the last 2 years isn't Earth curve then, Tim?
Now that Tim is actually...
Shut up, whoever that is, shut up. Mr. Solaris, shut up.
Say that? Does anyone say that the horizon is Earth curve?
Yeah, you do, you dumb fuck. So you're saying the horizon isn't Earth curve, right, Tim? Nobody says that, right? Welcome to Flat Earth. So just for the clarity that it needs, Tim's just made it clear that nobody claims the horizon's Earth curve, right, Tim?
I've never heard that someone says that the horizon is Earth curve.
Oh, really? What do you think the Earth curve maths is asserting then, Tim?
You're a straw manning his position.
Can you shut up, Mr. Solaris, or whatever you're called? I will mute you. Shut up. So, Tim, you're saying nobody says the horizon's Earth curve. Really? That's a surprising thing to say as a globe Earth believer. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Why does it matter?
Why is everybody
I've never
talking?
heard anyone say that ever.
So nobody's ever said the horizon's Earth curve?
I've never said it, so...
Oh, really? It's marked with an X labelled horizon, and you said that, which I had to get clarity on, is the horizon, Tim, only about 4 minutes ago.
Some flat earthers believe that there's a dome.
Why are you now strawmanning us, Tim, with some flat earthers' baseless generalisation? So your touted claims been teabagged, mate. How did they taste?
Even if they do say that it's curved or Earth curve, why does it matter?
Tim, how do my
I don't know,
balls
it's the
taste?
flat Earth edge that he pretends.
Oh, edge, like the horizon you think is physical. That edge. Apparently nobody claims that, Tim. You've just told us nobody claims the horizon's an edge, though, right, mate? So what edge? The one that nobody's claiming is Earth curve anymore? Timmy.
I don't even...
What, know what I'm talking about? No, that's the taste of my nuts.
No.
Now, yeah, it is. That's the taste of a flat earther's salty bollocks. While you tell me that the horizon hasn't been explained for 2 years, and I point out that your own side says we don't see a geometric horizon, you tell me nobody's claiming the horizon's Earth curve, and I proudly disclaim, welcome to Flat Earth.
Cool. Well, flat Earth believe all kinds of...
Oh, it's a new straw man about what we believe, generalization, baseless assertion? No, mate. The horizon's not Earth curve by your own disclaimer.
Okay.
You've just debunked Earth curve as the horizon, Tim. Nobody's saying that, right, Tim?
What's the new...
What's the stuttering bitch with a pair of my nuts in his mouth stuttering about?
Cool. So, like, as far as it's been 6 years, do you guys have any evidence?
Sorry, you seem to be ignoring the salty bollocks in your mouth. Your horizon is never being claimed as Earth curve, Tim, according to you. You've just debunked the claim that very specifically has Earth curve edge marked with an X, labelled horizon in your Earth curve maths. You've told an audience nobody's claiming that, Tim. So nobody claims Earth curve edge. Welcome to Flat Earth, Tim.
Yeah, I just said that. Basically, what I said was the horizon is not Earth curve.
Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth. In your Earth curve maths, it's marked with an X, labelled horizon, and claimed to be blocking boats and buildings at a feet and inches value, you complete idiot. You're debunking Earth curve!
No, I have...
No, you are, because you're saying nobody claims that.
Oh, go ahead, interrupt. Go ahead.
I will. You're telling me that nobody claims Earth curve when it's marked with an X and labelled horizon in Earth curve maths. But according to you, nobody claims that, right, Tim? Welcome to Flat Earth.
No, now you've actually switched it. You've bamboozled me, or you tried to at least.
Oh, really? What, you saying baseless generalizations about what Flat Earther thinks was you responding to me? Oh, now you've actually been pinned down to you telling us that nobody claims the horizon's an Earth curve edge. I've got it recorded. That's me bamboozling you, is it? No, that's you telling us, quote, nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. Welcome to Flat Earth, Tim. Being bamboozled, no, just losing.
No one claims that.
What? No one claims that the horizon is Earth curve?
The horizon is where the apparent meeting of the sky and the Earth.
And what does apparent mean?
Horizon is. It's not.
What's
Earth
apparent
curve.
mean? What does apparent mean? Does it mean physical Earth curve edge to block boats and buildings by any chance? Because that's what's in your Earth curve maths that apparently no one's claiming.
It's
apparent.
just all semantics at this point.
Apparent, a word you used. Semantics means words and their meanings. That's right, semantics. What does apparent mean? Does apparent mean physical?
Does apparent mean an elephant standing on the head of a pin? I mean,
it doesn't mean physical, and you need a physical Earth curve edge to block boats and buildings. Something you say nobody's claiming, even though it's in your maths marked as a horizon, mate. We just debunked it with the black swan. Maybe you need to pay a bit more attention. Laugh it up. Yeah, giggle. I'm sure that my testicles are tickling your chin.
Go ahead. I can't even get a word in. Even though
you can. You got plenty of words in. You told us nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. I've got it recorded, Tim.
Yeah, let's get past that. No one.
Let's get past the fact that you've debunked Earth curve. Yeah, man, let's get past this teabagging quick. Nah, I love teabagging fundies when they debunk their own claim that the horizon's Earth curve by very specifically, and I quote Tim Ossman, Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. End quote. Tim Ossman, 2020. I bet you wish you were a bit educated in the Black Swan now, given that your declarations debunk your own side's claim that the horizon is Earth curve, as per your maths, that marks it with an X and calls it the horizon, mate. Maybe another baseless generalisation about what flat earthers think, rather than the teabagging you're actually getting, Tim.
Yeah, can you name like 3 people who say that the horizon equals Earth curve?
Yeah, I can, yeah. I can name Jesse Kozlowski, George Netanyahu, and Mick West. How do my balls taste? Salty? All of those fuckwits claim that Earth curve is the horizon that can physically block boats and buildings, Tim. Something you said no one claims? How do my balls taste? You haven't answered that yet. How do my balls taste, Tim Ossman? Claim to be the greatest troll ever? Were you getting fucking teabagged by a flat earther, Mr. Great Troll?
Is this even a conversation at
Yeah, it's me teabagging you, you fuckwit. You haven't got a physical geometric sphere edge horizon in your pictures, you dick. Maybe ask me another 3 people to claim it when you've said nobody does. Debunking it? You complete idiot.
You've lost your edge.
Is this just a daddy daycare?
Daddy daycare is an ad hominem attack. So, no, let's just summarise, because Tim's clearly lost. No physical geometric sphere edge horizon in his images that he's showing people for the last 2 years. He seems to have a vague understanding of the Black Swan, but doesn't appreciate that it's very specifically been debunked by their own side. And now, like him, they tell us how we wouldn't expect to see an Earth curve horizon marked with an X-labelled horizon and formally claimed to be blocking boats and buildings. He thinks that's a bamboozle of his argument he's denying. No, Tim, you've just lost. Roll on the ad homs, my friend. You're getting teabagged.
This conversation obviously isn't going anywhere. Could I bring up another?
It's not. He just likes to knock down his own straw man that he makes up after years and years of doing this show. And he's been explained everything. He knows that it's not a flat Earth.
Oh, really? Well, if it was a geometric physical sphere edge horizon marked with an X and labelled horizon, you wouldn't be telling me how nobody claims that, would you?
Are you able to bring up anything that...
Are you able to explain why you've asked me to name 3 people that claim that horizon is a physical geometric sphere edge? I've done that, and now you're telling me how I don't understand and it's been explained. No, you're just getting annihilated, Tim. It's embarrassing.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know, you're thick. We know you're stupid. We know you don't get the arguments. We know you don't know what I'm talking about because you thought you had a little proof, see, in the form of a horizon claimed to be an Earth curve edge till I pointed out that it wasn't. And your reply was to tell us that nobody claims that, Tim, right?
Nobody says that the horizon is Earth curve.
Oh, I love it when it's completely clear and unimpeded. I'll name 3. George Netanyahu, Jesse Kozlowski, and Mick West all specifically have Earth labelled with an edge marked as a horizon. Tim, are you thick? Why would you deny the tenets of your own religious belief in a physical sphere edge horizon? You say nobody claims that. They do. I've just given you 3 at your request, mate. Maybe ignore it. You requested it. I've given them you. You're going to deny that they say that, Tim, because they do. It's just a shame they claim it when we don't have a physical geometric sphere edge. And when we point that out, the fundies that get annihilated tell us that nobody claims it. They do. You've got a physical horizon, Tim. It's called Earth curve. You used to calculate how much boats and buildings were blocked by it. And now you're telling us how nobody claims it. No, it's just the death of your religion. Earth is obviously inobservably flat. And you've got nothing but an annihilation by a flat earther to show for your globe belief.
So I won't capitulate to your straw man.
What straw man? You said you had a physical geometric sphere edge in your 2-year-old shite that we've debunked. I point out that it isn't, and your response is to tell me nobody claims it is. So what is the horizon in your imagery, Tim? Let's see if, given that you've said nobody claims Earth curve is the horizon, what's the horizon in your image that you've been touting for 2 years, Tim?
The horizon is where the sky meets the Earth. That's what a horizon is. It does not have anything to do with Earth curve.
Thank you. Welcome to Flat Earth. I'll just point out again, given the list of 3 people that have got specific mathematics and detailed examples with X marks the spot horizons that are physical and not apparent, it would imply, for me, that there are people who think the horizon is an Earth curve edge, Tim. You're one of them.
Are you muting me? On your screen?
Is that really the best response you've got?
No, it's just a quick question. Are you muting me on your
Nobody's
stream?
muting you, bro. We've
This
heard
is
every word you
brilliant.
said.
This is brilliant. Keep it going, Nathan.
Tell us again, Tim, how Earth curve edge is not represented by the horizon. I just want it for a third time, please.
Are you muting me?
And that's not you telling us for a third time that nobody claims Earth curve edge is formulated in the horizon we see?
No, if you wanted to have a chat and you weren't muting me, I would definitely have a chat with you, Nathan.
Now I am going to mute you because this is the most pathetic tactic. So now you're muted. Guess what? No one can hear you, Tim. What shock? That is the most useless end to your time. What am I saying, useless? That was the most perfect end to your time here. Asking clearly audibly if you're muted. Now you are. Can you hear me, Tim? Oh, he's muted. Now get the fuck out of here, you pathetic loser. Oh, you can't hear me? That's because you're muted now. You were just
Nathan,
muted,
there's a
Tim. Did
picture
you
of
notice that you were
masturbation.
muted? I muted you. Now I'm going to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
You lost
I'm
your edge.
unmuted. What a wanker. Yeah, you are now, dickhead. Now you can piss off.
I got an image of Master B, Nathan.
Okay.
Their religion is dying, and it is very painful for them.
Whoever said that in the back, I agree.
So, just so I can moan at the 2 guys, Mr. Solaris and who was the other guy that kept on interrupting?
I apologize for that.
Don't need to, man. Tim Ossman has been around a lot longer than you have in this scene. He's a prolific troll.
Sure.
While I'm teabagging him, do you think we need your colour commentary about whether or not he's worth it being here? We want to hear him declare Earth curve not represented in horizon really clearly. Now, fortunately, I shut you both up, and we got to hear that unimpeded. Tim telling you that the horizon's not Earth curve? Oh, joy!
That was pretty bad, man. And then shows us picture of what's supposed to be curve at the horizon.
That's why I said it's brilliant. Keep it going.
Okay, got your image up.
But I was-
With Lake Pontchartrain. Is that presumably the one you sent?
Yeah, just the last part of this. This is evidence of the curvature of the Earth.
No, it isn't. That's a
I
verification
know.
of a physical geometric sphere edge horizon.
Yeah, but he's trying to point out that's their claim. So, again, Tim, welcome to Flat Earth. Snacks in the back.
I enjoyed that. I think I enjoyed
DJ's on
that.
the way.
I enjoyed that more
Wait.
than any other pummeling I've ever had here. That was so enjoyable.
But
was
didn't
the-
he come in with the proof that he said he had an Earth curve? And then he said there was none? I'm confused.
No, he said
Maybe
the
I can ask,
horizon is not the Earth curve.
I know.
So was
But
that a
they say
debate?
it is.
Was that a debate, Stranger Danger? Someone came in with a claim that they could see physical geometric sphere edge in a horizon that we hadn't explained for 2 years, and then we ripped him a new asshole. Not a debate, Stranger Danger. Maybe you could give us your opinion.
Well, at least the reduction in personal bias at this point will help.
Yeah. Stranger
And
Danger.
Masto's a retard. He's not Stranger Danger. It's Ad Masto the Meatball.
Whatever. He's called Stranger Danger in here.
Whoever it was, we were just commenting, weren't we? That's all they've got when the after show started. That's quite telling. What I found more telling there, Nathan, that was Tim Ossman, right? As you explained to Discord, somebody that's been around, somebody that was like porn bombing, IRMs back in the day, along with Brent, 5 years ago, was out there with an argument for a long time and was, for a few years, an adversary, a worthy adversary. He was one of the more polite ones, and you could have at least. There was plenty of good ding-dongs in the past, wasn't there? But that's how the mighty have fallen. If that's what Tim Ossman comes in here now, and that's all he's got, and resorts to the muting at the end, I mean, it's very, very telling of the state of their argument.
What Tim Ossman's got is
without even an understanding of the argument. To literally come in here and declare, I mean, he was like, oh, it was January 1st. Yeah. For a year, we've had clowns like you on your side telling us how we don't see the geometric horizon. We've never seen it, can't see it. And why would we expect to see it? Right? It only exists in the math. This is the clown shit that your side has been saying. Now you want to up that by far and saying, oh, nobody claims it. Really?
We witnessed years of Tim and those pictures and Earth curve calculators, and look, it's here because
the same picture. Just like, really pathetic. Anybody else in there? Discord.
So you guys were here before I was when all those things were happening. So he's saying that Earth curve is what blocked the bottom of boats and things, and now he's saying you can't see it; it's only in the math.
Well, no, Tim didn't say that. He doesn't even understand the Black Swan argument. Well, that's the problem.
The picture he posted has got 3 or 4 images, all at different heights, and the lower the height, the more obscure of the building in the background you can see. And then there's 1 foot, 1.5 foot, 5 foot, 25 foot. And then the title at the top of the picture is, "Here is your curvature." So I'm not sure what he's presenting then, if he's presenting this as what? I mean, why would you label it like that if this isn't supposed curvature at height?
Can you present it? Can you just present it just so we can point out how he died on this recording?
Yeah.
So he's presumably got a little arrow pointing to the horizon then.
There you go. That's the picture he put for us in Discord. Here is
like
your
horizons to me.
Curvature. Unless there's something else in the picture other than the horizon, the curvature show, which is demonstrated as curvature by demonstrating it by taking the picture at different heights. Now that would imply, as to us flat earthers, obviously the higher you go, the further you can see. That's obvious. You open up the angle. I think, unless I'm mistaken, here Tim's point would be that allows you to see further over the leading edge of your ball. Hence the point of the demonstration and the pictures at different heights.
Well, it's like you said, Adam. It's in the title. Here's your curvature. It doesn't say here's your perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's just come on the show, having put this up. Here's your curvature, showing varying horizon lines, claimed to be obscuring things in the distance at the horizon. That would be a physical obstruction, sphere edge. Now, he's simultaneously told us nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. Yet here's his picture of 4 different horizons, claiming that they're blocking things with their physical nature, only to also declare that the horizon's an apparent location, and then not define apparent. Claim it's semantics. Yeah, that's right. Words and their meanings. Apparent means appearing, but not actual.
I'm then labeled trying to ask him because I knew he came in and he said, I've got pictures of curvature. And that's the question I was kind of trying to barge in and ask. Well, where does the curvature start in your picture? Where does that happen? Because I see horizons in these pictures. So if it doesn't start at the horizon, where the hell does it start? Where is it?
Just in case Tim ever claims to anybody else after this point that his images have been undebunked, reply with this. Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve, Tim. Make sure you say that word for word as they're Tim's words. So he puts his little image on. How do you explain this? Oh, Tim, nobody claims Earth curve is the horizon. Welcome to Flat Earth, Tim.
And I don't understand, how does he not know what that means when he says that? How can he say that and be on his side of the argument? Does anybody else in Discord believe what
I
he's
have
saying?
no idea.
I think he's having a psychotic breakdown.
That's what I was asking. Does
How does
anybody
Neil
else in
Tyson?
Discord think that the horizon is not the Earth curve in your narrative?
How does Tyson say what he
I
says?
think he had a psychotic breakdown.
Hold on. Let's see if anybody in Discord can respond to this, because this is a very weird statement coming from your side, guys.
Everyone
I mean-
realized what just happened just now?
Yeah, we
I don't
gave
think
Tim
they do, bro.
Ossman a thorough teabagging. Yes, we realise. We're just asking, as anybody on the globe side, you're not going to get cast to sunder and all that. We're not going to rip you to pieces. Just, is anybody else in agreement that you don't claim the horizon's Earth curve? Because given this picture we've currently got up... Yeah, but are you a flat earther saying we don't think the horizon's Earth curve? Because that's fine. That's our position too. You said yes.
Yeah. Another yes whisper again.
Probably.
I think you're just wishful thinking, Nathan.
So we've had it
Ever since I've been on the debate show, it's always been stated by the ballers that the boats and buildings disappear because of the curvature of the Earth.
One of the debating websites about challenging flat Earth start by saying it all starts at the horizon.
Yes.
Don't worry about facts. Just get their trust.
Tim's been out of the
An
game too
article
long.
that states that. Sorry.
I was just saying he's been out of the game too long. He doesn't really understand the Black Swan. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here touting horizon-based pictures. Because they're absolutely
Nathan, you should have
annihilated.
put his girl on. She's smarter than him.
Well, that Black Swan argument that QE put together is a mighty weapon. They think they can come in with popcorn in hand and beat us up. And before they know it, they're going against their own belief.
And then their popcorn winds up on the floor with their mouth wide open.
You're bamboozling me! Showing me how my horizon's not physical anymore? That's not fair!
No, my favorite is, did you mute me? Am I on mute?
Maybe he was here to record me being heard when he's talking through me. Or me cutting him off and still being heard, which I'm absolutely capable of doing given my setup, to annihilate his point. Now maybe Heath's going to make a little video saying, look, I'm making a really good point here about the horizon not being claimed to be an Earth curve edge, and he's talking through me. No, actually, I've cut you off. You want to call that me muting you? No, I've just got a gated line. I will be heard when I talk. So yeah, I'll talk over you on my show. Absolutely. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, that's a shame. I don't really care. But Tim's the kind of person that will go out and make a little video about how my setup is, rather than punting his physical reification of a sphere-edge horizon we've annihilated with the Black Swan. He'll just hand-wave that. You heard him. I don't understand what you're talking about. Yeah, we know, you dumbo.
He had some good confessions today.
It's coronavirus. Coriolis virus, I mean, in it. It's number 5, I think. It's denial of priests. Just to show it there. Hold it up, Nathan, for you. This is just straight denial of their high priest Bill Nye. And he's, as it says here, look, curvature of the Earth horizon, model of science.
Yeah, Nathan, I thought you were going to bring up this sun.
Where's
it
Adam's
is
picture?
disappearing over a physical edge.
Are you presenting this, Adam?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, yes. I'm just figuring out which button to present.
I'll pull him back to beginning. You got it?
I also got one in Master Beta.
Why isn't it doing it? Oh, here we go. Beacon is presenting. It doesn't seem to want to let me stick it up. I don't know why.
Stop.
That's worked, I think. Well, I've got you pinned at least. There we go. Adam Meakin is presenting Whirly Whirl. Nothing.
You got it?
I don't know why, it's just glitchy. If you can stick it in one of the Skype chats, I'll stick it at my end, and it's just... Oh, there we go. No, I've got it.
You got it? So yeah, so there's just the old Bill Nye, which is their rhetoric. This is why boats disappear over the horizon. Is it?
Hey guys.
Hey, Flatside.
Stop, Flatside.
Hey, Flatside. There we go.
Doing well. Just missed the show. Hey.
Yeah. Nathan, I also got that article you just referenced or spoke about. Masturbate.
Thank you. So, yes, Bill Nye's... I've had that.
Adam's
Thank you.
presented something.
Thank you, Adam. Just put this up as well. Do you want to read it out, Chocolate? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Can you read?
So it starts off the article. This is from How to Debate a Flat Earther from space.com or whatever. So looking around, to put it bluntly, we know more about the curvature of the Earth than almost any other topic in the realm of physical science. There are so many experiments, observations, and demonstrations that have time and time again revealed the curve of the Earth. And it all starts with the horizon.
Hold on. Hold on. Nobody claims Earth curve is the horizon, Chocolate, except NASA.
Oh,
But don't you know the apparent is now actually real?
The parrot is apparently real, actual now.
Right, just another detail. It's specifically saying physical science. So it's talking about it being the horizon and being physical in this specific statement. And yet the people at trench level make statements like, we wouldn't expect to see the geometric horizon. The geometric horizon only exists in the maths. The geometric horizon, according to Tim Ossman today, is only apparent. But yet they think it's physical, and yet they'd come here and deny it. Yeah, isn't it priceless? Sorry, do you want to continue, Chocolate? Sorry. Or do you not need that?
Yeah, I just wanted to, it starts with the horizon.
Or it did until
okay.
1st Jan 2020,
yeah.
when we debunked it with the Black Swan.
Right, so let me fill that up with the quote from Tim in this show. Nobody says the horizon is Earth curve.
I mean, that's almost better than, why would you expect to see the geometric horizon? We've never seen it. It's like it's almost worse because it's like, oh, nobody claims that. Really? Sure about that, guys.
When I first heard about flat Earth, I wanted to do an experiment, and so I was thinking maybe I should get a P900 like a lot of people have done, but there's I figured there's too many factors, and I've heard the list. You guys say it, refraction, waves, all of this. So I was trying to think, and I'm the guy that brought up the experiment about the gyroscope previously. And so not experiment, demonstration. And so I was thinking about ways that I could improve this to actually turn it into an experiment. And what I was thinking is that the gyroscope has the rigidity and to track the movement of the sun. Did anybody here listen to the last interview on Mark Sargent with the master gunner Corey Kell?
No, but carry on with your example. There's already a problem with calling this an experiment because it started with if the gyro, but carry on.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to plug it into an experiment where I have all the necessary factors. So the natural phenomena would be the movement of the sun. And so, for example, a natural plant, the sunflower. Have you guys seen the video of the sunflower? And it tracks the sun as the day goes by, and the head of the sunflower is moving.
Yeah, you've now got two DVs though. So which one do you want the DV to be? The movement of a sunflower or the sun? which is your DV. You can only have one. One phenomena only.
Oh, one phenomena.
Yeah, dependent variable.
Well, my thinking
Phenomenon
is
and the dependent variable are not the same thing.
What's
that with the gyro,
Master, shut up.
can the independent variable be even though it's not a natural phenomena, the rigidity of the gyro? I was trying to think of examples where this happens naturally. I've got in my basement a bicycle on rollers. So when you spin, you can only stay upright when the wheels are spinning. That's part of gyroscopic rigidity. So an example in nature would be like a boulder or a big snowball rolling down a hill. It tends to go in the straight line and doesn't deviate from that course unless there's another force acting upon it. So this is naturally proven gyroscopic rigidity. And so
Hold on.
like
Hold on. Which is your dependent variable now? What's the phenomena we're studying? Because a natural phenomena would be a ball of snow rolling down a hill. That's a natural phenomena.
So the phenomena that I want to test or observe is the movement of the sun.
Okay, so the dependent variable is the movement of the sun. Yeah, that's a viable dependent variable.
That's a phenomenon, not the dependent variable.
That's what.
Yeah,
a dependent.
So
hold on.
Dependent
hold
variable,
on, just 1 second.
I'm going to be observing the sun with a scope.
Just 1 second.
To a
Sorry,
platform.
we're getting heckled. Hold on. The dependent variable is the observed phenomena. It's the thing you are studying and trying to figure out the cause of. DV is a phenomena. That's what it is. Phenomenon, singular.
No.
Okay, so the phenomenon.
And Master,
can't be
go work on
something
your
that's
project. All right. Sorry to cut you off, buddy, but this guy's
No, it's all right.
trying to cut you off in the background. Okay. And Master, go study up on why flat earthers think things go disappear bottom up in the distance. All right. Figure that out and come back.
I know that already.
We're in the middle of a different
we
conversation.
Don't care. We don't care.
Who's this clown?
Good. If you don't care, why do you tell me to study up on it?
It means go away. Read between the lines.
Go away. Let the guy who's speaking, who's trying to make sense, speak. Not you. Knows nothing about science.
Thank you. So take me to your naturally occurring gyroscopic motion. Where's this a naturally occurring phenomenon?
So the gyro that I have would not be natural. It's part of a navigational system, but a vertical gyro. But the function of it is naturally observed. I'm just recreating it to demonstrate rigidity of gyroscope. And so this would be attached to a platform.
Hold on. You said it is naturally occurring. You've ignored me and just reasserted the same thing. So if it's naturally occurring, as you say it is, take me to your naturally occurring gyroscopic motion.
So like a rock rolling down a hill.
So is that now your dependent variable? Because you can only have one.
Why can you only have one?
Oh my god. You're trying to figure out the cause of an effect. The effect is what you're studying. You can't seem to make up your mind of what effect you're studying.
Well, so I'm trying to determine if the Earth spinning is the cause of the sun tracking in the sky throughout the day.
Sorry, you're trying to prove that an assumption that we spin causes the sun to move as we move underneath it. Right?
Yeah, sorry if I'm using the wrong terminology.
No, it's fine.
Experiment would be to disprove this hypothesis, right?
No. You're trying to validate the cause of an effect if you're doing an experiment. So you first have to have an effect that you want. Mate, please.
Uh-huh.
First, you have to have an effect that you're studying. You have to look at something happening. You interrupt me again, my friend, this conversation's over. First, you need an effect. Then you say, what caused that? Then you vary and manipulate something which you assume caused that effect. So step 1, observe natural phenomena. So far, we've got sun moving, gyroscopes, definitely not natural, and snowball. So you just need to pick one and say, what's causing that? And then suppose a cause of it. That's how you formulate an alternative hypothesis.
I think I understand that. So say I make the commonly made assumption that the hypothesis, I'm not trying to just repeat it again to frustrate you, but so that my hypothesis in the global thinking, in the heliocentric model, is that the Earth is moving. And it could be a bad hypothesis.
No.
So I want to.
No.
So
Stop. The hypothesis is two things. There's plenty of others, but we're going to keep it nice and simple. It's your observed phenomena, dependent variable, and your presumed cause. So an alternative hypothesis is if A, that's your presumed cause, then B, your observed effect. So if independent variable, that would be the varying and manipulation of something you think causes the effect, then B, the effect you're trying to figure out the cause of. Nothing to do with models, nothing to do with presuppositions of Earth spinning, none of that is relevant to science. Just an effect, and you figuring out what caused it. So the first thing we need, not my hypothesis is, first we need the effect, dependent variable, then we need the presumed cause of the effect, then we've got an alternative hypothesis. If A, then B. Then we can formulate the null. If A, not B. That's called a null hypothesis. You need both. So don't just give me some random ad hoc description of your fundy belief in Earth spinning and call it a hypothesis.
No, I'm not saying I believe in that. I want to test it.
Test what? You can't test an assumption, right? You can attribute your presumed cause to something you can actually vary and manipulate and see if it causes an effect. But first you've got to have an effect to try and figure out the cause of it. So what's the effect? Now, if you're saying Earth turn as an effect, oh right, where do we experience that?
Well, would the sun tracking in the sky is the effect?
Excellent. So, dependent variable, movement of sun. Now we need the presumed cause of the movement of the sun. So we've got our dependent variable, sun movement, nothing to do with gyros, nothing to do with snowballs, sun movement. That's the phenomena. Fine, perfectly legitimate phenomena. Something's happening. And you want to know what's causing it.
Can you use like technical things that you've built to help you do experiments in science?
Well, you need a hypothesis first. That's the experiment. We don't need to worry about that yet. You're getting ahead of yourself. The actualization of the hypothesis will worry about whether or not we need tools and equipment. We're not there yet. First, phenomena, then presumed cause. So we've got half the hypothesis. Don't worry about how we're going to actualize something. We haven't got it yet. So what's your presumed cause of the movement of the sun? That would be an independent variable.
Yeah. I mean, when you phrase it that way, there's really no way to test it.
Test what?
I mean,
just test what we've got.
Don't know
mate, don't tell me we can't test it. Just tell me what you think causes it. You've already told us vaguely once or twice.
Well, I think that, I mean, personally, I believe that I know that God placed the sun and moon in the sky to order time and seasons and days and years. So, and a lot of people wouldn't like that assumption that God causes
Stop. No, that's just a religious standard, which isn't unreasonable. It's just not the standard we're discussing. We're discussing a scientific standard. So don't worry about your religious belief in this regard.
God is all wise, and he gives us knowledge.
That's fascinating. We're talking about scientific evidence of the movement of the sun, and you're talking about doing experiments based on hypotheses that haven't been established yet. So all we need for this to be a hypothesis, for us to move forward, is for you to presume a cause of it. Now, I understand maybe you're not even a glober, but the globe side does have a cause for that movement of the sun, though, don't they?
Yeah.
What's their cause if you're not a globe head?
The spin of the Earth.
Oh, so our independent variable is Earth turn, and our effect being studied is sun movement. Now, all we need to actualize this hypothesis is a null, so we can see if we've validated the alternative or null when we do the experiment. So, if A, Earth turn, then B, movement of Sun. So our null hypothesis is if Earth turn, then no movement of the Sun. But now all we need to do is vary and manipulate Earth turn. How are we going to do that?
So that, I think that is what I'm trying to get to, is that I put this platform so we have a scope to view the sun, and we can vary the speed of the supposed rotation by varying the movement of the platform from which we view the sun.
No, stop. Sorry. The independent variable is your presumed cause, and it is that, and only that, which you must vary and manipulate to validate it as the cause. So not some analogy of some turning platform varying an assumed turning Earth. No. The cause must be varied by the researcher. In other words, to validate this hypothesis, we're gonna be varying and manipulating a turning Earth for this to be science.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I know it sounds absurd.
It is absurd. It's just not science.
Yeah.
There's a further problem. The assumption, non-validated by science, just so story made up based on a philosophy called heliocentrism, is that Earth turns under the sun. It's an asserted cause that hasn't been validated. But that would be Earth turning underneath the sun at 15 degrees an hour as a second non-inertial reference frame. So the sun's drifting, a la Coriolis effect. Well, there's also assertions that planes and bullets and footballs also have Earth turning underneath them, but we'd notice. We don't notice any effect akin to Earth turning underneath stuff not attached, because things would drift away from us, and they don't.
So using the tools and apparatus and things to make this demonstration more clear, it would include the motion of the sun with the rigidity of these things. I was researching about Foucault, who has the pendulum, and he also is claimed to have done the first gyroscopic proof that the Earth rotates under it. He had a gyroscope that he cranked up by his hand, and it could only spin for a couple minutes. And so it very well could have just been precession within the gimbal and friction in those bearings that cause movement, because now when we observe these gyros, there is no
slows movement,
can I quickly,
not give it movement.
Can I quickly debunk this?
Sure, flat side, go ahead.
Do you know I did a demonstration with a balloon floating for over 20 minutes in the same spot with a reference frame of the floor. You know, if the sun was moving, which it is, you'd just see the sun move. If the Earth was moving, the balloon would have moved with the Earth. You get it?
Yeah, and I'm more cued in on some of the religious aspects and how these come in. And Martin Luther, the reformer, he refuted Copernicus at the time when Copernicus was first coming out with this idea. And he said, the argument is absurd as someone riding in a buggy behind a horse, watching the scenery go by, claiming that it's the Earth moving and not the buggy and the horse.
Yeah.
And so this has been a religious argument, and that led into the scientific revolution after the Reformation, and a changing of fundamental views of God, the Creator. We're trying to observe creation, and creation demonstrates the invisible attributes, the power of God. And I know that this show tries to focus on scientific things, but I would argue you can't divorce knowledge from the wisdom of God and from the revelation of His Son, Jesus Christ. And so that's kind of my interest in the topic, but I also would like to demonstrate it with this gyroscope Could I offer a critique of your
Just to
show?
help you out,
I think
would
Kiwi,
say
who is in here, would agree with you.
Yeah,
Right?
plenty of people here would agree with you. Amen, brother.
Nathan,
Go on.
could I offer a critique?
But Chocolate wants to address you, and Darwin wants to address the gyroscope thing. I know it's not your gyroscope thing, even though you're postulating it. You're not even trying to prove a globe Earth from the sounds of things. You understand why it doesn't work, which is great.
Right.
Feel free, Chocolate, and then
I
yes,
believe
you
in
can
the
critique.
gyroscope evidence. It's natural evidence. You can't really formulate it scientifically because the gyroscope is and always will be and always has been a man-made construction, very simple construction. But these things do not naturally form in nature, not even in life. There's no gyroscope inside any kind of creature, although there are systems that are close, like the inner ear is almost like a gyroscope. It's just not a physical thing constantly rotating. That's purely mechanically made by man. So it can never be scientific,
Maybe
but
the
it's natural.
sunflower. It's natural. So it in the Greek
That's right.
it's called the helianthus. So it's the sun, the helios, and you can watch the head of the sunflower move. And so the counter argument against that would be from the heliocentric assumption is that it's the stem, not the head, which is moving.
Yeah, but that would imply Earth's turning underneath.
the only thing I would add to what you said, it seems like you're very intent on trying to formulate this as an experiment, and I think
I'm
that
not
might be the problem because
yeah.
Hold on, just 1 second. We've got Anthony Riley. We're still recording, Anthony. Did you want something that you were happy to go public?
Yeah, I don't mind. I didn't realise you were public still. Am I interrupting?
Not really.
Yeah,
well,
can
a
I
little
just
bit.
finish my statement real quick?
You can, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, I just wanted to tell him because he was kind of struggling with the whole experiment, right? That's the problem is that when you say the word experiment and then you go to define your naturally observed phenomenon as something like the sun's movement, well, then somehow in your experiment, you're going to have to manipulate something to cause the movement of the sun. You realize that's not going to happen, right? It's not viable. So I would say, unless you can truly formulate it as an experiment with a viable hypothesis, I mean, demonstration is a good word for it, as opposed to experiment.
Yeah.
Just to help you
This
out.
platform might be able to manipulate the speed of the movement from which you view it.
Maybe. Well, let's see someone vary something that causes that speed change in the sun. Then I'll say, "Wow, that's amazing!" I'll be absolutely awestruck. Anyway.
Yeah, in Joshua 10 in the Bible.
Before you go on to Joshua 10, hold on. No, my friend, hold on. Thank you. Go ahead, Anthony. As he stepped away. What a bastard.
No, sorry, I was on
No, sorry. Hope you didn't hear that.
Right, it's a debate tactic that Rumpus uses. You know, when you get him on a point and you actually have the conversation where you conclude the point, he often gets his dirty little secret out at the beginning. And then from that little confession he makes at the start, the rest of the conversation then can flow based on that little, the trivialization of the key point right at the start. What's the term to describe that debate tactic that he uses?
Immediately begging the question.
Yeah, that's basically what he does. Has it got a name for that style?
Early disclosure if they're begging the question. Go on, Owen.
Isn't that preemptive assertion?
Can you say speakers
it's like
down a bit? Anthony,
it's like immediately begging the question, but in a jovial, trivial, non-combative way. And if you just accept it, then the rest of the conversation that flows from it is subject to that, and it was never meant to be the case.
Right. Preemptive assertion.
Sure, but
why do you sound like you're in the shower or the bath or something?
You with your speakers turned up, causing feedback. Turn your speakers down.
Is it?
Yeah, but the reason they do that is because if you immediately call them on it, they'll just cry foul that you've interrupted them.
Right. Because the only reason why I'm asking is because I've read through. I know this is off topic. You're right at the end of the show now, right?
Yeah, we're getting there. We've got another 10 minutes potentially.
I just want to give the context so that you can understand. I was reading what the judge said yesterday in Piers Corbyn's summing up, and I know this is totally off topic. It's not part of this topic, but he basically got his dirty little confession out right at the very beginning, and I missed it. So now I've spotted it. I'm like, he's rumpused us.
What was the confession right at the beginning that you missed?
Oh, right. Okay. So I believe that Piers' argument was based on the legitimacy of the laws in place that the police arrested him under. And obviously he was arguing about the actual arrest itself, but it was to do with the legitimacy of the law itself. Now, the judge decided right at the very beginning, he said, I'm citing from a newspaper here, so I think it quotes it verbatim. It says, Corbyn's defence had argued that his arrest, not the actual legitimacy of the law for the arrest, but the arrest itself, was disproportionate and unnecessary. Returning his decision, District Judge Mr. Guzzi said Corbyn's actions would have been lawful if lockdown regulations had not been enforced at the time, but their enforcement had been necessary for public health, he said. That's the key point. And so he got that. That was literally his first line out. The rest of it was justification for the arrest of the police by the police. But his initial opening line was their enforcement had been necessary for public health, he said, concluding that the police took a measured response.
I understand. Well, so you're saying that the argument in his summing up, or his judgment, I should say, was to suggest that the argument is purely about the legitimacy of the arrest rather than the legitimacy of the law that was being argued. So outright, before discussing in detail the legitimacy of the arrest, which is what they want to make the issue about, or what the judge has made the issue about, he declares that it is correct without discussing any of the whys and wherefores of what was argued in regards to whether or not the law is correct. It's about the arrest. Yeah, and let's disclaim that first off, the law's right. Well, it's not a law, it's an act, but yeah.
So the equivalent that the rumpus would do is he would say something like, well, we know that gravity is a force, right? But because we know gravity is a force, then we can start talking about what goes on in Narnia. And no matter what he says in Narnia, you can argue all day about it, but it's based on the fact that gravity is a force in this example. So obviously, if you allow him to get away with because we know gravity is a force bit at the beginning, rather than challenge it, the whole consequence of that is all based around gravity being a force. And the same has happened with this judge. He said because these regulations were put in at the start and that they were necessary for the public health, he said that concluding that the police took a measured response and then quantifying and justifying all the points to do with the way that the police dealt with him, based on the fact that the actual legislation itself was necessary. But that was the whole point. The legislation itself was being challenged, but he addressed it in response to the arrest rather than to the legitimacy of the laws in place that the enforcement resulted from. So I think that the judges kind of swerved the legal point and addressed the arrest itself, saying that the arrest, because obviously you can have a lawful arrest or like a compliant arrest based on either correct laws or wrong laws, but the arrest itself can be legitimate, which is what's happened with Piers. But if he hasn't addressed the law bit, the actual law, he's addressed the arrest, but not the law. That's the bit that he's done. So he's done the rumpus thing where he goes, the regulations are there necessary for public health. But let's look at the arrest itself. And as far as I'm aware, and I didn't hear the defence argue in this case because I missed it, I wasn't in the hangout at the time. But my understanding is that the whole argument of the defence was based around the legitimacies of the laws, not so much the arrest itself, but the actual laws. And the judge doesn't appear to have addressed the laws; he's addressed the arrest. So it's like, ooh, maybe he's missed the point here. Oh, hang on a minute, he's done a rumpus on us.
Right. So he scattergunned it. He preemptive assertion. He scattergunned it through and immediately moved on to the subject that was going to be debated in court. And because he's a judge, everybody just let him do that.
No, he's essentially just accepted that gravity is a force, right? And then argued about gravity being a force within the paradigm of Narnia. That's essentially what he's done.
So he's approached it as saying, as Anthony, I'm just reiterating what Anthony's saying. It's the equivalent of us approaching a fundy and saying, it is declared that gravity is not a force, and it is written here that it is not a force, and there is no force to be found in gravity. Therefore, your claim that we have a force acting on gas pressure is wrong. That's our argument. The rebuttal starts as follows. Based on us already knowing that gravity is a force, we have a force that's holding gas here. Now, that is essentially hand-waving the original argument point. So in this instance, in this courtroom, it's Our point is that the legitimacy of the arrest isn't valid because the law it's based on isn't valid. Here's the reasons why it can't be a lawful arrest. It violates my human rights. So here's my argument for why it's violated my human rights. Rebuttal. Based on a non-violation of any human rights because this is absolutely lawful. He's not saying that, I'm paraphrasing that. We will move on to whether or not the arrest was legitimate. That's what he's saying.
Correct. That is exactly what's happened. So obviously yesterday when I was listening to him, I was relaying.
Hold on,
I was verbatim the words that he used, and then when I went back to listen to it because I wanted to hear how I said what I said, I realised I thought, hang on a second, he's immediately asserting, or he's what is it? Is it begging the question that the law is correct? He's basically accepted that the law is correct and then focused on the arrest itself, and I'm like, isn't that the whole point? He's completely swerved the legal bit. He's dealt with the arrest itself based on assuming that the law is correct. Well, that was the whole point of the argument.
Well, there's a bit more to it than that. What actually occurred was the gentleman in question attempted to assert his human rights to a police officer while the police officer was attempting to violate them. And because he talked over her, the arrest was legitimate.
Well, you can have a legitimate arrest or an illegitimate arrest based on the correct foundation for the law or the incorrect foundation for the law. But the arrest itself is irrelevant. It's the basis for which the arrest was decided to partake that is. Now, he's focused on the arrest itself, and he's just assumed that the law is correct. Well, that was the whole point of the legal argument. He swerved that completely and done a rumpus on us.
Okay. Well, I mean, I expressed my views on this and reiterated what I said to you in February. I'm not going to pour salt into the wound or say I told you so or anything of that nature, but you already know my opinions on this. So, hopefully, I hope this has just left you with the illusion that you had being shattered, as opposed to, oh, well, there's still a chance that they'll be on our side.
No, what it's actually left me with is the realization that Rumpus's technique of that getting that little concession in, the trivial concession right at the very start, is very, very real. And it's not just Rumpus that does it. It's very intelligent.
Wow. No, it's so hand-wave dismissal.
I think we all have to have agreement on the words, and like the same thing you're saying with the law. So the foundation for words like the sun moving and stuff. Sorry to bring it back to the topic.
Don't apologize.
The word of God in Joshua 10, God stopped the sun. So he arrested the sun. To bring it back, strange segue.
Good segue.
So
I'd like to ask.
Only God has the ability to stop the sun. But anyway, I appreciate your guys' input on trying to help me with this demonstration. I'd like to demonstrate it as best I can, and I want to use natural phenomena to help show the truth of the nature in which we live. And so I thank you for bearing with my maybe less scientific understanding of it. But hey, Nathan, could I offer a critique of your show?
It's all good, man.
You can critique my show. Feel free.
Yeah.
All right.
Just give him a chance.
I really have learned a lot listening to you guys, and I appreciate the debate. But you are a pervert, and I would say speak the truth in love. You don't have to talk about all these crude sexual things to your opponents. I mean, speak the truth to them and be firm in it, but don't show that perversity. You're not going to convince anyone through that. And I think that one of your goals, as you mentioned before every show, is that you want a more diverse panel. If you tone that back, I think you would likely get reasonable people who would otherwise avoid this channel. I mean, I almost don't want to listen to it because of the perversity of your sometimes when you are putting them down, which when you have a good argument, yeah, that's great. But you see what I'm saying?
No, it's a reasonable comment. It's a reasonable critique.
I think
the only issue is
you could get more people into the debate, people who would otherwise avoid it because of that perverse language.
Fair enough. It's a reasonable...
the truth in love.
Okay, thank you. It's a reasonable criticism. The problem is, I am actually quite pervy. But that's just me being me.
Jeez. Nathan.
That should cause
Nathan is
shame,
Nathan,
though. I
and
mean,
the
we want to be
ballers
honorable
need
and upright in all
My
of
friend,
our word and
we've
speech.
heard you.
And at
My
low,
friend, you're talking
yeah.
through everybody. We've just listened to you. Thank you. I really appreciate your critique, but other people want to respond to it.
All right.
I thought he said
There's a time and a
Kermit.
place for everything, and what Nathan does is necessary.
Oh, God.
Because there are ballers out there that need suckling, and Nathan's the only one doing it. So, yeah, sorry.
Hold on. Go ahead, John.
Yes, I put something in Ballbusters if you wanna check it out right before you go.
Please, save me.
It's a 25-minute time lapse. It's a stationary camera drone in the inertial reference frame. It has the moon and multiple stars moving.
Okay, I found it.
Uh-oh.
So, John, then it shows that the luminaries move and not us?
Uh-oh. It's pretty short. 25 minutes and like 15 seconds or so.
Okay, I've got it up. 18 seconds of it.
How is it possible to still be a globe after seeing stuff like this?
You'll have to explain what this is showing again. I was bringing it up while you were explaining it, and then Siri was answering you for some reason.
And Anthony's speakers were too high and it was blowing back. This is a 25-minute time lapse of the moon, and it caught a number of stars in it also. If you look real close at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6:37, and at 9 o'clock, all these things are rotating. They are moving, and they're being viewed by a stationary drone in the atmosphere, in the inertial reference frame. So it's game over, Baltards.
That's the bit I missed. It's filmed by a drone.
Yep.
Wow, that's
Hovering.
impressive. Very impressive.
So not spinny Earth?
Earth not rotating underneath the drone, then?
I don't see the video he's talking about.
My bad. It's
Where
only
is it at?
presented to the audience. Sorry.
How did a drone stay in the air for that long without running out of
It's
charge?
in Ballbusters.
Yeah, I thought that's a very long time for a drone to stay in the air, eh?
Yeah, he had a high-speed drone. He could keep it up there for a while, man. Battery powered, dude.
I see. So he's got extra high current or whatever voltage they need to keep it going fast, but he's instead utilizing it to keep it at a high efficiency and stay in the air for a long time.
Yep.
Epic. Very, very cool. Would you
Was
like?
this just sent to you, John? Because I
Got
know
it from
somebody
Fuzzy.
else.
Got it from Fuzzy yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
'cause you were
What was
talking about
in
doing
the
something
video?
like that.
I don't
That's
see it. What was
I
it
requested-
apparently watching Star Trails?
I requested it, so he provided it quickly.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, so awesome.
Just let me explain to Discord. So, hold on, guys. They're just asking in Discord what we were looking at. So we're looking at an image of the moon moving as filmed from a drone hovering. In other words, we've got a claim of 2 reference frames, Earth turning underneath to cause that movement of the sun, but yet the drone isn't deviating. It's stationary relative to its position whilst hovering, filming the moon moving.
And stars. Which is weird because the claim from the globe side is the stars and the sun, these things are moving because we are on the spinning ball. So how are they moving?
Actually,
if
Star
this
Trails,
drone is
Star Trails prove that the Earth is a globe, regardless if the Earth is moving or if it's the stars moving. Either way, it proves that the Earth is a globe.
Why?
You know what? I knew that he was gonna come in here and say, "Oh, what are you guys looking at?"
Hold
oh,
on.
for sure,
Hold on, Eli, real
it's a
quick.
globe. I know.
brother.
Go ahead.
Say that again.
Hello? We've had a claim
It
from
really
Mr.
does.
Solaris.
Globe does.
Go ahead, tell us how, Mr. Solaris.
Regardless if it's the Earth spinning or if it's the stars spinning, Star Trails prove that the Earth is a globe.
Yes, how? How?
Because in the northern hemisphere you have counterclockwise rotation, and in the southern hemisphere you have clockwise rotation. It can't happen on a flat plane. If it
Guys.
can happen on a flat plane, please
Guys, can
explain
you
it.
stop rumpusing him? Sorry, what you've done will you allow me to reply? We heard your claim, because in the northern hemisphere they rotate and in the southern hemisphere they rotate. So we've heard your claim. Problem is that claim comes with the assumption of the thing you're trying to prove within your statement. So you're saying we know the Earth's sphere.
No, it doesn't.
My bad. I was talking. So it doesn't include the assumption. What's a hemisphere?
A designation of an area.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, if I look up the word hemisphere, it'll say designation of an area, will it?
No.
What will
no,
it say?
But that's why I'm going to refer to it, because even if we go under the...
So what does hemisphere mean? Does it mean you've begged the question, you complete clown shoes? Yes, it does. Because your statement includes the word hemisphere, which is your assumption that when travelling south, you're antipodal on a sphere. That would be begging the question. That would be assuming your outcome. That would be declaring the thing you're trying to prove in your assumptive statement that moving south means you're moving to the bottom of a hemispherical surface. You are assuming.
That's what it is. Okay, so I said something you don't agree with, and now you're going to shout me down. That's what you're going to do. Instead of actually coming at my claim, I let you speak. You talked over me when I speak.
You defined
I guess that's how you
and
like
then
to
he
do
asked you to
things, isn't
repeat
it,
it, and you
Nathan?
said that's not what it means. Are you a clown?
Sorry, where did you get
And if-
hemisphere?
Trying to say is that even if we go under the presupposition...
No, we don't. We don't go under the presupposition, you dipshit. That's why we're telling you that it's a begging the question fallacy. Don't say, well, if we beg the question together...
Okay, fine. Fuck you. You don't...
Yeah. Share your pain. Yeah, the guy who is Christian said it's not reasonable to tell you to taste my nuts after you tell me to go fuck yourself. After annihilating your argument, mate. So you're not begging the question with the word hemisphere. It just means a general area. No, it means you're presupposing travelling south is antipodal on a spherical surface, aka begging the question. So no, mate, it's not me just shouting you down. It's me annihilating your presupposition of a spherical surface by way of a use of the word hemisphere. Now, your constant rumblings and rampasings aren't going to save you from me pointing this out to my audience, because you are begging the question. Throwing your dummy out of the pram and constantly talking over me isn't going to stop my audience hearing my summary of your begging the question fallacy that you just say I don't agree with. So let's all beg the question together? Nah, that's not what we're going to do.
Can we actually have this conversation, or are you just going to talk over me and shout me down?
Bro,
I'll do what I like. It's my show. If I want to tell my audience that you are
just
begging the
cursed him
question...
out.
You are begging the question by using the word hemisphere. You can choose to ignore it indefinitely and tell me that I'm just shouting you down. That's basically a hand wave dismissal. You're not addressing the fact that you've utilised a begging the question fallacy. You're not admitting that hemisphere means the bottom of a sphere. You're just denying it and saying that I'm denying it. That's also known as projection. What you're also doing is constantly talking while I annihilate your point. Like that's somehow going to work other than you not listening to me. Yeah? We can all see in the audience, if I highlight it for them now, that your little light is flashing away constantly. So you're not listening to me. Maybe like Tim Ossman, you're making a little recording so you can point out that I like to highlight to my audience how I've won without constant fundy interruption and my opponent not listening to how I annihilate him. Yeah, that's a typical behaviour of fundy glowbeds who beg the question with the word hemisphere and then don't like the fact that I point out how that's begging the question. You don't like it.
It's worse.
If you don't want me to explain, fine. Say you don't want me to explain, and you just want to be right regardless. Fine.
Would you shut up for a second, sir? Just shut up for 1 second.
Shut
It's
up
worse
for a
than
second,
that,
sir.
Nathan. Do I have your attention? You said the proof.
You don't have a mouse
of the Earth. Hold on a second. You said the proof of the Earth being a globe was the direction of star rotation. That's non sequitur. The shape of something doesn't dictate the direction of star rotation, sir.
You didn't listen. He said, no, it's not through your question.
Oh, wrong can you be
So
for
he
a
didn't listen to the
thousand?
question. He's just saying you're wrong because he said, no, it isn't not listening to the actual question. So I've had to mute him because he's constantly talking through everything everyone says. So he doesn't have to have anything addressed to him.
Do I need to repeat it?
I've taken him off mute. I guarantee he will not allow this to be addressed to him.
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Okay. So your point is non sequitur. because the direction of star rotation, that which you don't understand anyway, has nothing to do with the shape of the ground underneath your feet. It's non sequitur.
Why would
That's
it
it.
not have anything to do with the shape of the ground underneath your feet?
Because it's in the sky.
And your point.
Yeah, that was my point. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the shape of the ground beneath your feet, because you're observing something in the sky, that which you don't understand anyway. That's another point. But your initial point is non sequitur.
If I may, can I actually rebuttal you now, or are y'all going to talk over me again?
Not may. No. He needs to understand the non sequitur nature. That
I am not allowed to rebuttal. I'm not allowed a rebuttal. Is that right?
You already rebutted. You asked me why. I explained why. Now my question to you is, do you understand what a non sequitur fallacy is?
If I understand what a non sequitur fallacy is, and you're not, and what I'm saying is not a non sequitur.
Oh, so
So could you tell us what it is and how what he said doesn't
wish,
apply to you?
but it doesn't make it true.
What?
It's useless.
What?
I said you can disagree all you wish that it's not a non
I don't
sequitur, but it
disagree.
doesn't make it
I already showed how it was a non sequitur. That means the conclusion doesn't follow from your premises.
Deification fallacy.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So what I was
so
trying
yeah,
to say.
Great
talk over me
argument.
again.
Are you Stanford, Harvard law?
It's not a non sequitur.
Non sequitur for the last time.
Oh yeah, it's a non sequitur.
Okay, so just because you're claiming it is one doesn't make
I
it
just
one.
explained
So
it,
there you
not
go.
just claimed it. I hand walked you through it.
Do I need to hand walk you through how it's not?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Thank you. Oh, I was waiting for this. Thank you.
Oh, great. Get on with it.
This is what I'm waiting for. So, if we're standing on Earth, whatever it is, the ground we're standing on, under our feet, and we look up and we see something moving in the sky, and we keep walking on our feet or driving, take a boat, whatever, we're still on the ground. And we come to another point where it seems as though they go in the opposite direction.
That's
How is
another
that not
problem,
actually
knucklehead. Are you saying that if we walk from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, the stars, sun, and moon will start going from west to east? Is that what you're saying, sir?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said they went in a different direction.
Yeah, you did.
I said counterclockwise and clockwise. Yes.
That's not direction, sir. That's another point where you're friggin' off the reservations. You said if I keep walking, sir, does the stars, all the stars, sun and the moon, save for Polaris, move from east to west or west to east?
East to west.
Okay, they are directions. If I walk to the southern hemisphere, are they going to invert? Are they all of a sudden now going to change direction, like you implied, and move from west to east? Yeah, you're talking through me, aren't you? You're done. You're twice dead. Thank you.
Still east to west.
They're not different directions then. Thank you. So your point was non sequitur and stupid.
But I mean, why can't it just be the stars are moving?
Well, how is it different but not different, guy?
Because of your standing on the Earth, you're looking at it from a perspective that is opposite than the other side of the Earth.
Other side of the Earth. So we're going to beg the question that Earth has two sides, a south and north hemisphere. So you're going to beg the question that one is one side and one is the other side.
Yes.
Well, that's a begging the question fallacy, you utter clown.
He said yes.
I mean, yes. So I'm just going to assume that when I travel south, I'm antipodal from my start location. No.
It's like the tires on your car, Nathan.
What? So Earth's like a round tire that's got stuff on the bottom and top of it? Why? Because you say so? That's the thing you try to prove. Don't just declare that Earth's like a tire. Because number one, tires contain gas pressure, and Earth has no containment. So no, it's not comparable. And number two, why would I assume that Earth is like a tire with stuff at the bottom and top of it, with men hanging off the bottom of it? Why? Because you say we've got hemispheres? That's not a reasonable thing to assume.
Non sequitur.
Yeah, non sequitur.
You are doing a non sequitur right now.
Oh, how so?
Number one, you sit here and tried to move the goalpost talking about pressure. I'm not sitting here talking about pressure. I'm talking about movement of the stars. I'm talking about how you can have an apparent opposite rotation while moving in the same direction. I use the car as an analogy for showing that you can have apparent opposite rotations while going in the same direction, as showing you from the driver's side of the car, on a car moving forward, the tires are rotating counterclockwise. Car still moving forward, looking at the passenger side, they're moving clockwise. You're still moving in the same direction, but apparent opposite direction rotation of the tires. Same thing happens with the globe.
With globe? What do you mean with globe?
What globe?
What globe?
With the globe. The globe you're standing on.
Oh, so the one you've decided we're standing on. I see. So if you presuppose we're standing on a globe, the globe we're standing on, we're not standing on a globe. That is a philosophy, not an actual thing you can stand on. The globe's a model. We don't stand on models. None of us are standing on a globe. That's a model.
And please explain how we can have apparent star rotations in opposite directions in a flat Earth model.
They just walk south and watch them.
Can I take this one quickly?
Walk south, turn around, watch them move the other direction. Relative direction. That would be anti-clockwise, clockwise, based on the direction you're facing. But they all move in the same direction. But obviously, if you turn around, it'll look like the other way round. Well, that's got nothing to do with proving a spherical surface beneath my feet. Oh, other than if you assume it at the beginning of this example.
Nathan,
You don't
can I give an
you're
example to him why?
You're staring in one direction, Nathan. And I'm staring in one direction, and I see stars move from my right to my left. And I turn 180 degrees to the and look the other directions. They're still going to be moving from the right to the left.
What? From your position? No, they're not. They're then moving the other way, because you're right. It's then the other side if you've turned around. Are you thick?
No,
you are thick. You think that they're going to move from your left hand to your right hand if you turn 180 degrees around? No, they'll move from your right hand to your left hand because you've turned around.
No.
Yeah, that's what happens when you turn around, you complete idiot.
Hold on. What they're saying?
Oh, white night time. White night time. White night time. Why is there a white night? Why is there a white night?
No, Nathan, I'm saying that you're right about what you're saying.
Yeah, of course I'm right about what I'm saying of virus. Of course. That goes without saying.
Can I quickly say something about the star's rotation? It's quite simple, without any assumptions.
Yeah,
Why
go
can't
ahead.
it be that the stars are moving in their regular cycles apart from each other? It's the same as taking, let's say, an ant farm. You have ants, they walk in patterns, but they walk in independently. Why would you expect that same ant that's on the left side of the farm to be on the right side of the farm? It's the ant moving, not the ant farm.
Yeah.
That was a non sequitur.
That's a complete non sequitur. Yeah.
How's that non sequitur? We're literally talking about that.
Use a complete.
Are you guys out of your mind?
Yeah, they just throw out a name of a fallacy with absolutely no justification for why it is that fallacy, no detailed explanation, and they expect us to just accept well, that's a straw man. Why is it a straw man? Because it's a straw man. Yeah, QE will say that, give a detailed explanation for why he's called it a non sequitur fallacy. How it's non sequitur. One is describing the ground beneath your feet. That's physicality of structure beneath your feet. And the other is the sky. The two aren't the same thing, so relating one to the other is non sequitur. That's a detailed explanation from QE about how it was a non sequitur fallacy. Reply, nuh-uh.
A non It's not a non sequitur because the field of view of the sky from both models are different. So it's not a non sequitur.
You don't live on a model. Who cares what the models
Did you
show?
not just hear 10th man?
Thank you. Hey, I do star trail photography. I even have a few videos on it. So the guy who brought it up, can I ask him a question if he's still here? Are the stars in the inertial reference frame or the non-inertial reference frame? What frame are they in?
Tumbleweed.
You're in your frame of reference of what you're looking, dude. Where if you do star trails, where do you?
Did you understand his question?
No, he didn't. No, that's why there was a long silence, and then the answer was whichever reference frame you're looking at. So he's asked specifically inertial or non-inertial. Which one is the stars in? Hello? Do you want it repeating a third time? Are the stars in the inertial or non-inertial reference frame according to your globe Earth model?
Come on, guys.
Hello? Total silence.
What happened? What happened to them knowing everything and we don't understand?
Not even a white knight in the back shouting out the answer too. That's funny.
Well,
it's a
you're talking about
question.
Yeah, it's inertial reference frame. You're sitting here trying to say that are you trying to say that the stars are not moving themselves?
We asked.
Or are you saying that one is one of the one?
Shut up. Just let it be asked again. Don't ask what's being asked and then indefinitely talk. If you're going to ask what's being asked, don't try and answer with a vague understanding of what's been asked. Just shut your mouth and let him ask again. Go ahead, 10th.
Yes. The star trail photography that I've done, I have a question about it in your model. Are the stars in the non-inertial reference frame or are they in the inertial reference frame in your globe model?
Well, I would think non-inertial reference frame. I'm guessing on
wrong. What a clown!
So where's my tripod?
What? Let's gloat. Hold on.
Hang on. Where's my tripod on?
Exactly where you're from.
You're wrong.
Yeah, it depends on where you
Everyone,
are.
shut up. I need to berate this idiot. Mr. Solaris. Mr. Solaris, can you be quiet? Mr.
There's
Solaris.
No T in my name.
Yeah, you were wrong. You thought wrong, moron. No, you think they're in the non-inertial reference frame? No, you don't know your own model. You're just thick.
Jackass.
Sorry, why are you calling me a jackass? You are wrong. You are thick. You did not know. Not I'm a jackass. You are ignorant of your own model. Those are the facts based on your incorrect answer that the stars are in the non-inertial reference frame. Wrong in your model. That is incorrect. You are stupid and being told off by a flat earther for it.
Okay, now you're stupid.
No, I didn't just declare that in the heliocentric model stars are in the non-inertial reference frame, I think. You did, because you are a moron clown being told off by a flat earther. Don't insult me. We're demonstrating your stupidity with examples and incorrect answers you've given, making you a fool.
For not actually listening to an argument.
You just told us in your model stars are in the non-inertial reference frame. That's wrong.
It doesn't actually fucking matter.
Oh, does it not? Well, then get the fuck out. Bye-bye. A virus. Now's your chance, White Knight.
It's a non sequitur is what he's asking. What
Excellent.
he's asking could be, you could be in either one of them and still include the stars.
That's all you
so
guys
it doesn't
know
matter
now is
which
non-sequitur.
non-inertial or inertial reference frame that you're in.
He heard it from QE a few
What's a
minutes
non
ago.
sequitur? What does that mean? I'd like a definition of that.
You don't know that. What's a non sequitur
It
fallacy? and
doesn't
how is
matter
this
to the topic of what we're talking about.
And how is it not related to the topic?
The reference frame you're in does not matter when it comes to what we're talking about. When he's talking about the star trails, he's mainly talking about the geometry of the star trails and everything like that. He's not talking about no reference frames. That doesn't matter.
Virus.
It's a non sequitur.
Excuse me.
It doesn't matter.
Excuse me, Virus. Have you taken star trail photography?
Yes, I understand photography.
No. Have you taken star trail photography, you yourself personally? Do
I
you
have
have a
before.
camera?
Yes, I have before.
Yes? Okay, good. Did you use a tripod?
Yes.
Was that tripod on the inertial reference frame or the non-inertial reference frame?
It's gonna be on the non-inertial, but that doesn't matter with the topic.
Well, he hasn't made his point yet, so you don't know. Go ahead, Ten.
That's the topic.
I know it doesn't matter.
He hasn't made his point yet of a cum virus.
Wow.
We need him to actually make a point. All he's done is established whether or not you understand which reference frame the tripod's in. You do. Now he's going to make a point if you'll let him.
So, virus.
It's a non sequitur, but go ahead.
So it's a non sequitur. He's not made his point yet, but he's already decided that the detailed explanation Quantum Eraser gave to a non sequitur fallacy earlier is attributable to an example that hasn't been made yet. My God. So you've already decided this is a non sequitur before the examples come? Wow.
Reference frames. Non sequitur to the topic.
He hasn't made his point yet.
Those are special Evo mind powers, man.
Yep.
This
telepathic.
Is insane.
Well, if he would allow me, yeah. So either or either, whichever way you want to hear it, the Earth is moving that causes the star trails, or the Earth is not moving and the stars are moving that cause the star trails. Would you agree with those two options?
Yep.
Great. So if the Earth is moving, that's causing the star trails that are in the inertial reference frame, then the flight from Charlotte, North Carolina to Los Angeles would be faster than from Los Angeles to Charlotte, North Carolina. But we don't see that happening. So we know the Earth is not turning.
Okay, but that's still a non sequitur, like I said. See, I told you this was leading to a non sequitur. That doesn't matter to the topic.
Do you want to explain how?
Okay, he's talking about the effects of what y'all think Coriolis is. We're talking about the shape that star trails make. Non sequitur.
I'm not done, virus. If the Earth is moving and the tripod is on the non-inertial, as you stated, and we see star trails because of Earth turning, then anything else in the inertial reference frame would produce same results. But they don't. We don't have shorter flight times.
Okay, well, let me tell you this, the point that he was making. It doesn't matter if the sky is rotating or the Earth is rotating. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm saying this is a non sequitur. The point he made, it doesn't matter which is rotating.
When you bump your tripod with your camera that's in star trail mode, does it cause a streak?
Yes. Okay, you're missing the point. It doesn't matter which is rotating.
At all. We said that.
Sorry, it doesn't.
Trails,
hold on, 10th.
Hold
on, 10th. Sorry, do you want to repeat that, please, Akumvirus?
With the example, it only shows the shape of the Earth, not if it's spinning. So it doesn't matter which is rotating. This is only about the shape of the Earth, not if it spins.
Okay, no worries. So for clarity, the movement of the stars is not related to Earth turning, correct?
This proof is not about spin, but the shape of the Earth. I'm not saying star trails has nothing to do with rotation.
Well, you just said it had nothing to do with rotation and only had anything to do with the shape of the Earth, and now it is. Guys in Discord, G+, please. So it seems we have a bit of a problem, a contradiction that you're now fundy muting me over. Why are you fundy muting me over this? Why are you fundy muting me over this?
Why are you talking over me?
It seems that he's lost all control because he's had a bit of a contradiction. So it's a non sequitur because it has nothing to do with Earth turning until we point out and ask you to clarify that star movement's nothing to do with Earth turning then. And you say, no, it is something to do. And now he's fundy muting me again. Well, scumbag.
You're going to get it wrong because you're muting me.
I'm not muting you. You're talking to me. Why are you projecting the fact that when I talk and annihilate your contradiction and then you start babbling through me incessantly, that's me muting you? No, that's me talking and you deciding to talk through me while I've got my gate open. That's what's actually happening.
To talk through my explanation.
So this is going to turn into who's talking through who, rather than the fact that you've got a blatant contradiction. So you've said it's non sequitur because it's nothing to do with Earth turning underneath. So for this to be a non sequitur, virus, Earth and star rotation has nothing to do with Earth turning underneath. Then for this to be non sequitur, as you claim.
You done yet? Can I talk now?
You could answer me, acknowledge what I've said, because you've talked through every word of it so far, and then ask me if you're being muted, projecting the fact that you keep talking through me so you don't have to listen to what I say, like you're doing now.
What you acknowledged was wrong. There you go.
What was it that I acknowledged?
You think it's a contradiction. It wasn't a contradiction put in there.
Is Earth turn a non sequitur when it comes to star movement?
It is a non sequitur when it comes to the proof that we're talking about.
I see. So, therefore, non sequitur to assert Earth turn has anything to do with star movement, correct?
No.
No what? No, it doesn't have anything to do with star movement?
No, you're not correct. It's what.
No, I'm not correct. Or no, it doesn't. Earth moving doesn't have anything to do with star moving, right? That's a non sequitur, right, Virus?
No, you're not correct.
What am I not correct about? Is Earth turning something to do with star movement, therefore not a non sequitur as claimed by you, or are you just struggling to cope with this?
You aren't listening to me.
I'm not listening, even though I'm detailing your words and taking a dump on them. No, I am listening. I listen very carefully during my shows so that I can annihilate people with contradictions. People who say it's non sequitur to associate Earth turning with star movement. And then when we point out that that's very much the point and therefore not non sequitur, you tell me that I don't understand.
You are annihilating your own misunderstanding.
Oh, really? What? The misunderstanding that it's non sequitur to assert that Earth turns under stars to cause their movements? No, just welcome to non-rotating Earth. You're saying it's non sequitur, and we're agreeing. Yeah, completely non sequitur to assert that Earth turn causes star movement.
And you're wrong yet again. Why don't you want to...
Wrong? That's your claim. You told us it was non sequitur. Yeah, laugh it up. That's right.
Virus, you're literally fighting for that right now. You're fighting to tell us how non sequitur your proof is.
Yeah, you're fighting to tell us that it's non-related to Earth turn. Why? Well, because you know that it would shorten flight times, as pointed out by 10th Man. Therefore, got to be non sequitur until we say, so it's non sequitur then, not related to the movement of Earth, and you're struggling to answer. Oh, just laughing. All right, well, laugh it up, Fundy. Yeah, the problem is it's non sequitur because we don't see any effects of Earth turn on anything. But yet you claim that's the very specific cause of the movement of the lights in the sky. But yet when we point that out, you tell us it's non sequitur. So you've got a bit of a contradiction problem here, there, Virus.
There's no contradiction. You're the only contradiction is your misunderstanding.
Oh, really? My misunderstanding that you told us that Earth's movement is non sequitur when it comes to star movement.
Maybe a little less time laughing and trying to understand the words that are coming out of your own damn mouth, bro. Seriously, because you're making yourself look very pathetic.
I do.
Right
Maybe
now.
y'all shouldn't be trying to imply the wrong thing.
This is pathetic, bro.
We didn't imply anything. You made it very specific. You made it clear that it is non sequitur to assert that Earth's movement has anything to do with the movement of the lights in the sky. In this specific argument, what argument? The argument the last guy was having about movement of stars and them incorrectly being asserted to move in different directions when you turn around. Well, you were saying that no, Earth movement is non sequitur. Why? Well, because QE used that fallacy, detailed it to a different opponent, and then you've decided, well, I like the sound of that, so I'll claim this is a non sequitur. But what you're claiming is non sequitur is Earth movement causing star movement. Now, we pointed that out, and all you keep telling me is, I don't understand.
He was given two options. It's either Earth turning that's causing it, or Earth is still and the stars are moving, and he chose Earth turning.
No, he said that was non sequitur. with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and hitting my GoFundMe campaign to finish off this YouTube studio. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.